Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, cool. I am so sorry about that, everybody. I don't know what happened. Technology is sometimes your best friend and sometimes is your worst enemy. But you know what? That's gonna be alright because I have a cell phone, and cell phones can do just about everything that computers can do. So I am just gonna adjust to my phone. We look to be good. And Miss Michelle, I will let you finish your amazing presentation. I'm so sorry about that.
No, it's totally okay.
And also for anybody who's having connection issues, go ahead and download the app. I've been told that when you're just watching online, I guess because of the files or the streaming or whatever it is, it may lag a bit. But if you hop and download the app, you should be good to go, and it should be crystal clear. I'm on the app on my phone right now, and we look good, and we're rocking out. So again, I really do apologize about that. I'm not sure what happened. I have a MacBook, so I thought we were superior, but probably not. So I'm going to mute myself, and I'm going to let you hop back in there and finish doing what you do.
Awesome. Thank you so much. All right, ladies. Let me find my place. Okay, so just going back from where we were, just I think we were being flexible. So just being very flexible. You know, you can set these goals. Be very realistic though as well with the time that you have. Can you guys? Okay. So just being very realistic with the time, with the goals and the things that you're setting for your day, and just making sure that if you're doing multiple things, that you are prioritizing everything. So I believe in using two types of planners. I like to use a actual regular paper planner because I need to write things down, but I also have a digital calendar, and I also use digital tasking tools. My favorite is Trello. That's what I use because it's compatible on the computer. But you always catch me writing things down in my planner. Now, as I stated when we first started talking, was how important it is to make sure that you're writing these things down. You're being very intentional about your time. And for some people, they can, you know, just kind of go off of the top of their head. But you also have to remember that when you're doing that, you're not being intentional. So, and always ask yourself, when you feel like you're not doing it right, or you're feeling like you're not doing time management correctly, ask yourself at the end of the day, what did I get done today? What in the last 8 hours, what did I do? And map it out hour by hour. This is what I did. This is what I did. Did you take time to eat? Did you take time, you know, for your green time to answer those emails, those calls, and those text messages? Even though we're home, we still have to find structure. We still need to work productively. And I can guarantee you that if you time block yourself properly, if you really invest in learning your schedule, learning how to use your hours for you, you're going to take over your life. You're going to take everything back. You're going to become far more organized because you're going to notice that when you're trying to work for 30 minutes straight or an hour straight on a specific something and you can't find the papers that you need, you can't find the information that you need, it's going to get you to be like, okay, this process can get cut down and I can have this additional time to allocate somewhere else, but I got this stack of mail that's right here, and what I need is somewhere in this. So it's going to help you prioritize. It's going to help you with your commitments. If you were like me, for example, I have commitment issues on events and things of that nature. When I time block and I actually look in my planner and I'm able to see, well, I'm available at this time. I'm available at this time. I'm not available at this time. Once again, it's easier for you to say no to things that you can't commit to, and it's easier for you to learn how to commit to yourself. When you can learn to get your own task and your own things done, at that point, you can start adding things together. And a lot of people, you know, they come straight off with, well, I know how to multitask. I'm going to be really honest with you. A lot of us don't. You can say you do until you're blue in the face, but think about the last time that you multitasked a project or something like that had an open end game time to finish it. How productive were you? How long did it take you to actually finish it? Did you actually have milestones for that project? How did you effectively watch your time? Did you give yourself breaks? Did you eat? Did you give yourself green room to answer questions, or if you needed assistance, are you delegating those tasks? So time blocking isn't just good for productivity, but it's also letting you know exactly where it is in your schedule or where it is you can start delegating tasks to. It allows you to free yourself up to invest in those good relationships with your clients and potential clients and getting your sales pitches in and things of that nature, because you're focusing on the task at hand. How many of us that if you're in service-based business where, you know, cold calling or cold emailing can be beneficial to you, how many of you are actually taking the time to do that within your business, or how many people are you talking to a day? The biggest also issue is that we don't create time for visibility. If we're not visible and we're not letting our audience know what value points we offer or what we do because we don't have time to do that, then what is it that we're literally working towards? We're working towards either making an impact, making a sale, getting your voice heard, getting your brand seen, whatever the case may be. It all falls back into the one thing. What are you doing with your time? So it's being very intentional, knowing what that means to you, making sure you're tasking your day out, but being very realistic about what you're giving yourself. I think that's the end of my presentation, and I just wanted to let you ladies know that on April 1st, I'm actually coming out with a time management mastery course, and it will break down everything that I've spoken about a lot better. It'll give you examples on how to task. It'll show you how I've specifically tasked in my planner, and I used a covered planner currently, as well as my planner on my Google and all of those things. But it breaks everything down so that you can understand, you can start implementing. We can understand, we can do the podcast, we can read the books, we can do all of that. But if you're not implementing these things, if you're not actually taking it serious and you're not going forward with every day being intentional, I'm going to make an effort. And this is where self-discipline comes in. You have to be disciplined. You have to understand what your ultimate goal is. You have to understand why you want to complete this goal and in the time frame that you want to complete it in. You know, we get so stuck on being perfectionists. We get so stuck on wanting to make sure that, you know, the products we're putting out are good quality, that they're not going to have issues. But why is there like 50 iPhones? Why does Microsoft keep reinventing itself? Things are gonna, you know, happen. Things need to get tweaked. We need to keep up with the times that we're in now, and everything is forever changing, especially in these moments where people don't really have much time but to create. So get it out there, put it out there. Give yourself a certain amount of time to get it done, and as you progress and as you better yourself and better your business and better everything, you better the programs that you have, you better your speaking skills, you better getting on live and better your business. So it all starts with one thing: implementing time. Time is of the essence. It's one thing that we can't buy. And remember, when you invest that time, when you invest in making sure that your schedule makes sense and you conquer your schedule and it doesn't conquer you, you're giving yourself power at that point. You're giving yourself your own leverage, because we get so caught up in, we gotta hustle. No, if you understood what you did with 12 hours and you broke it down, you'd be able to see, I don't need to work a 12-hour day. I can work an 8-hour day and fit all of these tasks in here and feel like at the end of the week, I now have a fully functioning business that is organized. It's on place. It's on time. I'm visible. I'm where I need to be. I'm able to post on social media. I'm able to engage with my audience. I'm able to go the extra mile and do the extra and create those processes and policies and procedures and get myself where I ultimately need to be, because I understand what I'm doing and I understand where I'm allocating my time to what's most important. So, ladies, thank you so much for tuning in. That's going to be the end of my portion. Just being intentional with your time, understanding that that is the basis of your business, regardless of anything. If we don't know what we're doing with our time, then what are we really doing? So.
Okay, absolutely. Sorry. I'm adjusting to being on the whole mobile camera right now. I definitely think those are some really amazing points. As somebody who's been a full-time entrepreneur, also, if you all have any questions, definitely drop them in the chat right now, and I will be sure to ask them and have her answer before she leaves us. But as somebody who's been a full-time entrepreneur, is a full-time entrepreneur, and will take on several projects, or a full-time and full-time entrepreneur, like, I definitely understand about, like, time management, and also, like, extending yourself. You know, as one person, you can only go but so far. And I guess, like, one question that definitely comes to mind is, you know, you run 4 businesses and you're a full-time mom, you know, and doing, you know, other amazing things in your day-to-day. How do you find the time for all of these things? Do you have a team? Is it a support system? Can you just speak to that briefly?
Yes. So I do have a team. I did have to understand that delegation of tasks, and knowing that as much as I want to have my hands in everything and I want to do everything, it doesn't work that way. And that's how you're able to grow and scale. And I have an amazing support system. I have an amazing team, but I have to be very honest and transparent. Wasn't easy. 2017 in July is when I walked away from my corporate job for good. So I've been doing it full time almost 3 years now. And when I tell you that I've had to fail because I didn't have the right team, or I had the wrong people on my team, or, you know, I got scared because I had the wrong people and I didn't want to bring anyone on just yet. But it's just like, you got to get that resilience. You have to know that the confidence in yourself that, you know what, not everybody is built like you. Not everybody's going to understand your dreams, your visions, but ultimately you have to understand, you know, and I'm a woman of faith that, like, I believe things will work out the way they need to in the time that they're supposed to. So I don't force anything. I ask for a lot of guidance. And I'm at the point now in my entrepreneur career, 3 years later, where I finally have a team. I have an amazing partner. I have so many areas that I was lacking are so full now that I'm able to really hone in on what's most important. You know, I understand. And now even with Elephant Elite, which is our coaching agency, we're bringing on another coach. So that'll be 3 coaches and then a bookkeeper. And it's like, it's so amazing to see that when you trust the process and you have those policies, procedures, everything in place, that structure, you can now delegate things out. You know, what I have time management, and I do this because my kids. I'm a single mom, so I have to pour in, and I have boys, so I have to pour into them in a different way. And I have a 2-year-old and an 8-year-old, so the ages are completely different. So it's being very intentional. Like, I cannot stress it enough, and I don't really believe too much in work balance. I don't balance anything. It's integration. Everything comes together for me, because let's say, for example, my 2-year-old wants to have a tantrum while I'm on a conference call. We got to figure out how to make it work. I mean, obviously the respect is there for my business side, that no one's going to hear what's going on, but I might be, you know, over here trying to calm him down, doing what I got to do. And it's just, that's where the flexibility comes in. So being understanding and being very open-minded.
Absolutely. And what is the best way, if people want to learn more about your coaching program, if they want to learn more about April 1st, when you're dropping that amazing, you know, program, how can people contact you? Is your website best? Email? Definitely let them know.
Definitely, if you can, I am Michelle Welch. That's the Instagram. ElephantElite.com is our website. I'm actually finishing the adjustments for the April 1st launch of the course. So if you guys want to follow me on Instagram at I am Michelle Welch. Welch is like the grape juice. I can answer all DMs and everything, and we can set up consultations. Anybody that is actually on this call, I have a special code for the time management course that's dropping on Wednesday.
Awesome.
So if you follow me and let me know that you were on here, I will definitely send you the code. it has so much more information and breakdown. So if you're working from home, if you're someone that's going to be continually working from home, it's literally the master guide on how to be an entrepreneur. For me, I had to throw some tips in there for the mommies. So if there's any moms watching, the mom entrepreneur, and to be a business owner, and some corporate stuff, because I know there's still ladies that are doing both. And so it was something for everybody. And I just want to leave you guys with understanding that through this time, it's very, very difficult. But just find your peace for yourself. If all you can do is show up for yourself, you're doing enough. So just take it easy. Take the fresh air in outside and stay hydrated.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much. And I'll definitely be sure to include your information in our thank you email, just so people can, you know, click directly, email you directly, and information about the April 1st course. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Appreciate it.
Have a great
course.
Day.
You too.
Bye.
Bye. Okay. So let's see. We are going to keep things moving. Again, I am so mortified about the internet cutting out earlier. So we're just going to keep rocking out, and we're not going to have any more issues. Pray to God. Okay, up next, let's see who we have. And again, if you're just tuning in with us, if for any reason there is lagging in the video, we do suggest you downloading the app. That way you can just kind of stream it directly. It seems to be a lot clearer if you are watching directly on the app. If you have a friend who wants to join in, we do have 100 people capacity, so we may be at capacity. However, I will reshare the YouTube link because you can live stream and watch it on YouTube right now for any friends that are at home or who have not registered yet. So, okay, we're going to keep things moving. Next up, we have the amazing Taryn, our money coach. So Taryn will be talking about avoiding mindless spending, which is definitely important. Again, right now we're in such an insane transitional period where there's job uncertainty, you know, jobs are being halted, kids are home, you know, with parents and things of that nature. So it might just be a lot of transitioning, whether you're balancing your business, trying to balance your full-time and things like that. And so really understanding how to hold on to your coin is important. Just a little bit about Taryn. She is from Baltimore. She's a Baltimore native, and she is a millennial money coach. Love it. She launched a platform to help young professionals and athletes understand their relationship with their money and spending habits so that they can take control of their finances and create a life that does not break the bank. I need that. All right, Taryn, you're up. Go ahead, and I will let you take the floor.
All right, thank you so much. All right, so now I have to remember our instructions on how to share the screen.
Yes, ma'am. I'm going to hop off, but let me know if you need me.
Okay. I don't see the... okay, I don't see the button for share.
Is it in the bottom left? You're on the computer, yeah.
Yeah, I'm on the computer.
And it's not on the bottom left?
No. Let's see, bottom right. Nope.
Let's see. You don't see anything that says like share, whiteboard, share, screen?
Nope.
That is tricky. So, would you mind sharing the link to the presentation, and then that way we can just all follow along? If you want to drop it in the chat.
I believe only the host has capability to share.
Okay. Yeah, I'm on my phone right now, so it makes it a little bit tricky.
Hopefully this is the right link.
If not, I can have. Yeah, sorry. When my computer just cut off on me, it like threw everything off, so I can't even share anything. Okay, cool.
See if you can pull that up.
All right,
And
cool.
also, can you actually see me right now, or can anybody see
Yes,
me?
I can see you.
Okay.
All right, I'm clicking the link. Awesome, awesome. I see a lot of Baltimore in the chat. Yep, I can see the presentation.
Okay.
So
I just wanted to make sure that I can follow along with my own presentation. Yep, so I'm ready.
all right, we are ready for
Everybody
you,
can see
honey.
me.
Sorry for the adjustments. Again, internet is our best and worst friend, but you know what? We're going to rock out, and this is going to be amazing. So I will yield the floor to you, and you can go ahead.
Thank you, thank you, thank you so much for having me. Welcome everyone to the Women's Collab Summit. Again, as she said, my name is Taryn Bushrod. I'm a money coach and founder of Taryn's World Incorporated, where I help young professionals and athletes understand their relationship with money by identifying their triggers, their spending triggers. So I want to give you a quick background educationally. I have my master's in financial management. I also have a behavioral finance certificate from Duke. And my journey to becoming a money coach has been pretty interesting. So I don't know if you've ever been in a situation where you're in debt and you're trying to figure it out, and you take what they like to say, I don't like to call him out, but it is what it is. The Dave Ramsey approach, like cut everything off, cut up your credit cards, like all you're doing is zero and zero and zero. And I did that without knowing who he was, and that joint was depressing, like overwhelmingly depressing, to the point where once I reached my goal, all I wanted to do was spend money. I wanted to shop, I wanted to travel, I wanted to eat out. All the things that I deprived myself of was the things that I actually wanted to move forward and do. So fast forward, some loss of income for health challenges, taking off work without pay, etc., found myself in debt again. My attorney comes around and says, there's no way you're getting out of debt without doing the deprivation method. You got to cut everything off, you got to zero in, and you got to make it happen. I'm like, yeah, no, there has to be another way, and I'm going to prove it to you that there is. So I figured out, like, that one key thing was changing the relationship with money is how I was able to get out of debt, pay off these credit cards, invest, save, but still have a life. So I still traveled, I still shopped, I still ate out. I just figured out a way to make all of those things come together, and then I figured out how to repeat that system for other people, and I birthed the Money Coach, okay? So we're talking about avoiding mindless spending today. So you may have Googled mindless spending, you may have not, but trying to figure out what exactly it is, let me give you some examples. Have you ever gone to the store and said, oh, I'm just going to look around. I don't need anything, but I'm going to look around anyway. It might be something in there. And you come out with bags. You had no intentions of actually buying anything. You didn't set a spending limit. You just went to walk around and you just happen to see some things, and now you're walking out with bags. Or you're getting the emails or the push notifications from your favorite retailer. We have a sale. Oh, it's Nordstrom's half yearly sale, or you get extra points, or Nike's friends and family. Like, so many things you can't pass up because you know you're going to want to buy something eventually, so why not buy it now on sale? You didn't plan for it, but you're making a purchase, and the next thing you know, you're receiving an email. Thank you for shopping. Thank you for your purchase. Lastly, my final example, which if you cook, you know what this is like. You go to the grocery store, and you may have a list, you may not have a list, but you see all these other things, especially if you're hungry. lo and behold, you spent way too much money on groceries, and you get what I like to call the checkout surprise. You have no idea. You weren't keeping track mentally, or you weren't taking notes in your phone like how much money you've actually put into your cart. So these are all examples of mindless spending. And if you go to the next slide, slide 3 is where I'm at. In short, it's impulsive buying or spending without thinking. So some of the major impacts that I do want to say before I get into that is I want to caution you to beware of the post-corona sales, because the retailers, they've been closed. I mean, unless they selling things online, they're taking a major hit on their sales. So once this is over, once the economy is back up and running, there's no more social distancing, there's no more lockdowns, you're going to see sale after sale after sale. I even see it in certain people, like they're posting. One person posted about, I think it was New York and Company. They're like, oh, you're home. You need new loungewear. We have these amazing $10 sets, free shipping. And she said before she knew it, she had $100 worth of loungewear that she didn't need, but she bought it anyway because it was $10 and they were giving her free shipping. So you definitely have to be aware of a lot of those traps, because they're going to get more and more prevalent, especially if you were taking the time to actually be responsible about like your cost savings from not having to go out, not decreasing your commuting costs, all the cost savings that you're getting from working from home. Prayerfully, you do have the advantage of working from home. You want to make sure that you don't give all of that away as soon as these orders have been lifted. So again, the major impact, it says here, your money is lost and will not be found. Like, so this is not lost and found on your money. It's gone. Like, once it's out the window, unless you're returning something, you're not getting it back. But the major impact is you are delaying your goals. Like, whatever things you set out financially for yourself, you are actually delaying it. And the biggest thing is you are missing out on your opportunity to have compound interest. The number one goal for your money is to make you money. Whatever money you are saving, you should figure out a way for that money to make you money. There are a lot of ways. You have to figure out what works best for you, your risk tolerance, do your research, and try things out. Unfortunately, there is a lot of trial and error with growing money, especially if you get plugged into the right resources. I might be able to help you out at some phase in your life or in your journey. All right, so moving on to slide number 5, ways to avoid mindless spending. So number one thing you want to do is have a clear picture. If you don't know where you're going, like, you have to see that destination that you want to reach before you get there, i.e. have a clear picture. You want to set goals. You want to make sure that you are not setting yourself up for failure. You want to make them smart goals. You want to make them realistic. You want to be able to measure them. So if there's nothing like seeing your money in your bank account pile up versus dwindle down. So these are some of the things that we have to start coming to agreement. I will say buying a house for millennial tends to be one of the major goals that people set. However, when it comes to being responsible with your money, I find that tying buying a house to your goals is a bit challenging, because it doesn't necessarily allow you to attack the behavior change. The one thing that it allows you to do is clear up whatever negative inquiries you have on your credit. You're cleaning your credit, you're saving, but once you have those things in order, once your house is under contract and you sign, a lot of times you go back to the same behavior that you had beforehand. So you definitely want to make sure you have clear goals as well. So the next thing I have is stop mental accounting. Now you might be asking yourself, what in the world is mental accounting? So in short, that is just doing the numbers in your head. Like, ooh, yeah, I bought that. I should have about $500 left. I'm good. I can spend this. Unless you're Einstein or some other mathematical genius, chances are the numbers are wrong. And you need to make sure that you set that system straight, whether that's writing it down, using apps, which you have to make sure that they are up to date. Most reliable would probably be writing it down or spreadsheet, because you don't have to make sure that those are keeping up to date. But definitely want to stop your mental math. Like, don't do that. Make sure your system is clear and concise. The last thing would be create a money management plan, which I'm going to get into next, but I want to give you some bonus items. My number one bonus item would be change your relationship with money. Figure out why you interact with money the way that you do. What are some of the things that happen to you that automatically make you want to spend? This is behavioral finance, but there's also something on the consumer marketing side. If you ever pay attention to when it's raining, you can automatically see rain hats, umbrellas, ponchos in a store. But when it's not raining, you're not paying any of those things any mind, but they're at the same place every single time in that store. But somehow you see it because of what's happening in your environment. There's other psychological effects on shopping when it comes to the music that you hear. Sometimes you hear soft, mellow music. A lot of department stores, you'll hear different music on different floors. So if you think about shopping in a Macy's, when you're on the level that has the makeup counter and the fragrances and the shoes, you're oftentimes going to hear a lot of loud, upbeat music. But if you're in the home decor department, or if you're looking for specific clothing items, maybe it's formal attire, you're going to hear a softer, mellow music, because they want you to be able to think and really envision yourself in whatever it is that you're looking at, okay? So another thing I want you to do, and this is probably going to hurt painfully, but I want you to review your year-end credit card summary. And it will just make it very clear for you to see how much money you spent in a specific category. I read an article last night on a couple that spent $30,000 in 1 year eating out for a family of 3. I'm going to say it again, $30,000 eating out in 1 year for a family of 3. So seeing those numbers in total definitely becomes a glaring thing where you're like, yeah, no, I probably want to break it down. And even now we're going into the 4th month of the year. Coronavirus has probably taken at least 2 to 4 weeks of your regular spending, depending upon how you work and how you operate. You can even look at your monthly summary for December, January, and February, if you're too afraid to go head on to that year-end summary. The last thing I want you to do is also look at your subscriptions and your memberships. And even if you're partial to Amazon, even looking at how much you spent in Amazon last year, or if you don't want to do the full year, if you think that's going to hurt too much, do December, January, and February. Figure out what those numbers are, because that's going to also help to shape you with creating your money management plan. Now I am on to slide 6, which is money management plan. So I have 2 sets of numbers. I have 50, 30, 20, and I have 60, 20, 20. Each number represents a specific category. So the first number, either 50%, or if you are in an expensive metropolitan area, that would be 60%. And that is for your living essentials. What I do want to preface this with is, just because this is what you can allot yourself, if you are way under in these categories, don't increase the amount you're spending on your living essentials just because the plan can break down to your benefit. Take that extra and move it to another category, which would be the final category. But the next category is your flexible spending. So either 30% if you're on a 50-30-20 plan, or 20% if you're on a 60-20-20 plan. The last item is your financial goals, which will be your savings, your investments, and your debt repayment. So that is 20% in each category. However, as I was saying before, if you have a delta, so if you're actually spending 40% on your monthly expenses, take that other 10% and apply it to your financial goals. Don't put it in the flexible spending. unless you're actually planning for something. Because when you plan and forecast, you have a better success rate of actually staying within your spending limits and adhering to whatever money management plan you set up for yourself. If you are religious and you are a tither and you give your first 10%, you can break these plans up. You can do 60, 20, 10, 10. Or you can break up the other one. So there's different ways that you can structure it just based on your life. But what I will strongly, strongly, strongly recommend is that for your flexible spending amount, take that money and put it on a prepaid card. And you're probably like, a prepaid card? I don't need no prepaid card, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Or what I look like paying for something with a prepaid card? Humble yourself and bless your bank account, sweetheart. Get that prepaid card, put that money, whatever that percentage is, put that money on the prepaid card. That way you know you're not going to embarrass yourself at a checkout line. You're not going to let it say decline. But if you are using your credit card, which is the culprit for mindless spending, because, again, you don't have to think about your card being declined. You don't have to think about overdrawing your account. You're just swiping. It's fine. Cool. I got it. Pay the bill. I'm going to pay the bill. I'm going to pay it all. 9 times out of 10, you're not paying the full bill in the balance in full. But if you do, God bless you. And if you have the charge card, you're definitely going to pay it in full because that interest is a B. Y'all can fill out the rest of the words for yourself because you know how that itch happens. Okay, so getting back on track. Definitely use a prepaid card. If you don't want to use a prepaid card, I definitely recommend using a separate bank account with that. Whatever that bank card is, that debit card is only tied to that account, and it only has the percentage amount of your earnings on that card. So that way, when it's dwindling down, same effect on the prepaid card, you know you don't have money to spend, and don't let your credit card be your clutch. So that's pretty much all I have. I will say that I do have a special offer for you guys on my money management plan. I am doing a discounted offer on the spreadsheet that I actually use to help me pay off a credit card and still invest and save and do all the great things that I was able to do. Not to brag, but I did go to Africa for almost 4 weeks, and then I just a few more weeks of traveling, so I basically was out of work from December 18th until February 10th. And I still survived. I still had money in my emergency savings. I paid all my bills on time, et cetera, et cetera. So it's definitely a good system. If you want a different way of actually looking at your money, to keep yourself in perspective, keep your money in perspective, see the possibilities of how things can grow, yeah, definitely want to make that discounted offer to you guys. So if you have any questions, now is the perfect time to put them in the chat. If you want me to revisit something, obviously some of you guys couldn't see the screen for whatever reason, it's fine. If you want, I can send this out. I can make the presentation available for Nicole to send out as well. So.
Yes, definitely let us know if you have any questions. I know someone said they missed the last 20 categories. Could you relist it? I don't know if you want to give like just a brief summary of what the categories were again, because they missed that.
Okay, so the first number, 50% or 60%, is your living essentials. The next number, 30% or 20%, is your flexible spending amount. So that would be your groceries, your gas, anything that's not the same amount recurring if you're planning for something. So let's just say your entertainment, you're going out, your happy hours, so-and-so's bridal showers coming up, whatever monies that you need, that will come out of your flexible spending. And then the last category, the 20%, is for your financial goals. So paying off your credit cards, increasing your savings, adding some money to your outside investments, your 401ks, your buying stocks out of your regular stock market, your brokerage accounts. So
Well, I need to unlock it real quick. So.
What are some ways we can make extra money on the side? So making extra money on the side, there's countless ways. However, with Rona, those ways are limited to what I would say your skill sets. You can actually do some research on affiliate marketing. What's some other good stuff? Drop shipping.
I would even say, not to cut you off, but just to add to this question, there's no reason, and I mean, this is just for some people, because yes, there are definitely, with Miss Rona out here, there are some businesses and some type of services that you cannot provide right now, but there are a lot of digital services that you can still provide. If you have a special craft or trade, why don't you turn that into a class or teach? People are so ready to learn, right? You're sitting at home, you have all of this time. Now's the perfect time to educate yourself, to learn a new trade, to learn about how to do YouTube editing and stuff like that. So I definitely think that, and that's on the other end as well. So like if you can teach someone, you know, if you're fluent French and you can teach someone French, why not, you know, do a live French webinar? Or, you know, I'm fluent in American Sign Language. I could teach people, you know, American Sign Language through video. People have their kids at home. Kids want to learn new languages. You can set up a tutoring group. Like, there are so many avenues. And again, yes, things are crazy because of Miss Rona, so be careful on your price points. But a $5 20 minutes tutoring session or something like that with a group of students, that's, you know, easy money in the bank.
For sure. So in terms of investing, I have to give you guys this disclaimer. I am not an accredited investor. I am not a financial advisor or financial planner, so I'm not authorized to give financial investment advice. However, I can share my experience, and I can tell you things that I would do if I had extra money. I have put money in my brokerage accounts. I've moved from solely using Robinhood to now using TD Ameritrade. There's countless others out there. Figure out which one works best for you, which one is user-friendly enough for you. If you're an early-stage investor, I kind of do recommend Robinhood because it is easier to read. It's more user-friendly. However, I'm looking for certain things. I am a long-term investor, which means I invest now and I don't really care about how much money I make right now versus how much money this is going to provide for me later in life when I want to cash in on some of my investments. However, there are some people who are day traders or swing traders. So they're looking for a short-term gain. So they might trade something today and in the morning and sell it before the market closes, or they may buy something today and they're selling it within the next 24 to 48 hours. Okay, so those are two different types of investors. If you're looking for long-term, I would look at companies whose prices have come down just because of the market, but they're also generally healthy and profitable companies. I know right now a lot of people who are interested in getting into investing, they're looking at the travel industry, and some of those travel companies are good businesses. They are profitable businesses, but a lot of them are not. So you definitely have to do your research, look at their investor relations pages on their website, look at their actual financial charts on, you can use Google Finance or Yahoo Finance, but definitely got to do your research. Taryn, can you be my best friend? Sure, I can definitely help you out. We'll get to the contact us, and Nicole will also give info on how to reach me.
Absolutely. If you want to let them know, like, what the best way, like if they want to set up, you know, a coaching call with you about how to get their money right, or, you know, any money questions or anything like that for the services you provide, what are the best ways to get in contact? Your website, email, let us know.
So you can email me, first name Taryn at Taryn's World, TarynsWorld.com, or DM me on Instagram at It's Taryn's World. It's It'll be tied to everything. Also, there's a link in my bio on Instagram where you can book the call yourself, or you can email me and we can kind of figure out a way to set that up. The spreadsheet. So for the spreadsheet, you can email me or DM me, and I'll send out the info.
Awesome. And if you want me to provide it in the like thank you email, I can also do that as well. So cool.
I'm just writing it.
Well, Taryn, are there any other closing words that you want to leave the people with before you leave us?
Yes. Take hold of your cost savings. Like, this is really a good time to boost your money because you're home and you can't go anywhere, especially if you're in Maryland, like officially on lockdown in the city area. As well as, do not fall into the post-Rona sales trap. Those are my final two parting words.
Yeah, I think that's super helpful. I mean, I'm not going to say I was going to fall for it, but I'm not going to say that I wasn't going to fall for it, because I'm definitely for it. And especially, like, now, as we are starting, I know somebody asked, like, how can we make additional income at this time and stuff like that. As you are starting these new businesses or, okay, these new avenues to make income, if you want to start a YouTube channel, maybe you want to become an influencer, stuff like that, you're already thinking about the things that you need. I need editing software. I need Canva Pro. I need a better camera. You know, your mind is running. But hopefully through this 2-day experience, people can learn, okay, here's some shortcuts. Here's some ways to educate yourself. You know, maybe they're taking other classes or looking at other summits and seminars to learn different trades. YouTube is a free resource that you can always learn. You know, you can set up your own lighting at home. So, and tomorrow I'll be talking about how you can brand your business for free. So all of these things are the, you know, the shortcuts, you know, to cutting costs and things like that. So, yeah, don't fall for it. But, I mean, if you've been waiting a year and a half to buy something and it goes 50% on sale, I'm not mad at it. Taryn's like, no.
Yes. And I just put a book recommendation in the chat, which is my favorite book, Secrets of the Millionaire Mind by T. Harv Eker. So.
Awesome. Very, very helpful. Okay, well, thank you so much, Taryn. We will go ahead and get ready for our next speaker.
All right, this was good, guys. Hope y'all had fun. Make sure you stay on for the rest of the summit.
Yes, definitely stay logged in and tuned in. All right, Taryn, just mute your mic for me, too, and then it'll get you off the screen. Let's see. All right, so let's make sure everything's good. Taryn, did you mute everything? I still see you. Let's see. I still see you. Oh, there we go. Okay, awesome. So let's keep it going. Are you guys enjoying the summit so far? Other than the small snafu, however you say it, that we had earlier, are you all enjoying it? How are the first two speakers? Definitely drop that in the chat. And let me know what you all are thinking so far about everything. All right, so we are going to keep it moving. Let me pull up my amazing notes. So our next panelist is going to be Kaché Stewart. We are going to be talking to her about her amazing journey and career. She is from here, the DMV, but she actually has relocated to, she's relocated, sorry y'all, I have so many devices up here. She's relocated to Atlanta. So she is going to be talking on relocation to domination in your industry, which this is definitely prime time for that, because with everything that's going on in the world, maybe you're looking at relocating, you know, there are a lot of financial losses, job loss, things like that. Maybe it's time for a fresh start. So just a little bit about her. She's very passionate hairstylist and entrepreneur. She's been a freelance hairstylist for over 10 years and has been a business owner for about 4. She has taken the great leap to excel in her brand and business by moving from Baltimore, where she's from, to Atlanta, which I mentioned. She has her let's see, she has not only relocated, but she has been working at one of the biggest salons in Atlanta, Snob Life, owned by Ming Lee, who we love. And she has transitioned into standing on her own behind her brand, Dose Hair Company. And she has worked with different industry celebrities, and her favorite clients are everyday girl next door hotties. Okay, and she plans to continue growing her brand by expanding her business globally. Okay, love it. All right. Hey, girl.
Hi, can you see me? You can hear me?
You came in at the perfect time, too. As soon as I finished, you were like,
boom, we here.
Yes, welcome, welcome. Thank you for hopping on.
All right, so you done? I can get started?
Yes, so I'm going to hop off. I'm going to let you tell them about your journey and stuff like that, and then we'll do our Q&A portion. So let me give you the room, sis.
All right, thank you. Hello, everyone. I'm Kaché the rock star, like Nicole Briana said. I'm the owner of Dose Hair Company, and I'm a freelance hairstylist based in Atlanta, Georgia. So, want to mention, I am a freelance hairstylist. I've been doing that for 10 years, and I'm a business owner for 4. But I'm here to tell you about my past 3 years because that was the craziest ever. And I have it written down because I'm a rambler. I will talk your head off, and Nicole only gave us a certain time frame, so here it goes. Early in 2017, I was a valet attendant at the Four Seasons Baltimore. I had been working there for a little over 3 years, and honestly, I felt like that job was secure because I was making $17 an hour, and I was doing hair on my off days. My rent was only $700 a month, and I had a roommate, so it was good. It really felt like the good life for a 22-year-old. But one working night at the Four Seasons during downtime, I was reading You Are a Badass by Jen Sincero, and I promise y'all, that book told me to quit that dumb job, so I quit. I literally had enough. My coworkers laughed at me, and they told me to stop playing. The next day, they actually called me to ask where I was. I scared my roommate half to death, and my mother thought I was crazy. My mother's actually on here, and she remembered this day. She said, "Come on, Kyle, don't let your emotions get in the way of your money. Why would you quit?" And by the way, I still live by that quote. But I had faith. I made up my mom. Yeah, hey, Mom. I had faith. I made up my mind that I was going to do hair full time. And I believed in myself. I stepped out of my comfort zone, and I ran a hair special. My first month out, I made more than I ever made in a month in my life. I was jumping for joy at that moment, and my eyes lit up. It put fire up under my butt, and it just told me that I can do this. Later that year, I packed my clothes, taking another leap of faith, moving to Atlanta. And I honestly didn't know what I was going to do, y'all. I didn't know if I was even going to do hair full time. I didn't know. I just knew that God gifted me with talent, drive, and ambition. I trusted God's journey for me, and within, yes, my mother, I see the comments, guys, but within that first few months living in Atlanta, I finessed my way into an apartment, and if you guys want to know how I finessed it, I'll tell y'all later, but I can't talk about it right here. I did modeling gigs. I worked as an extra on TV sets, and I picked up a job at a consignment shop. I was just hustling and trying to figure myself out. 4 months after moving to Atlanta, I landed a personal assistant position working for celebrity hairstylist Miss Kenya D, shout out to her, at Snob Life. And for those that don't know what Snob Life is like one of the biggest hair brands based in Atlanta and is owned by boss lady Ming Lee. So when I landed that job, I was like screaming for joy. I was freaking out on the inside, and I actually started working the same day as I interviewed. So I was super excited. And then 2 weeks after I found out I was selected, 2 weeks after that, I found out I was selected out of like about 100 girls to be a bottle girl at this new club called Daydream. So y'all know my money went up. Like, I was like, all right, I'm making this money. It's time. I'm finally living in Atlanta. I was tired as hell, but it was so worth it. I'm rambling here, y'all, now. Back to the beauty industry. So taking that position at Snob Life was a step down title-wise, but it was a level up in the beauty industry. Being there taught me how to work in a salon full of great hairstylists. They taught me the game. I sat back and observed how they moved. And honestly, I asked questions, and I wasn't afraid to tell them I didn't know how to do something. So I really studied there how to be amazing in your craft. During my time there, I committed to hair. I told myself, if I'm going to do this, then I must do it fully and I must give it my 100%. So that means to me that I needed to get my license. Some of the girls at Snob Life told me I didn't need to go because, you know, I already had the talent. I'm already in the salons. But to me, I had to go. And I did not want any opportunity to come by and a piece of paper was going to stop me to actually receive that opportunity. So in September 2018, I enrolled in Paul Mitchell, the school Isani. I ended up leaving Snob Life while I was in school because the ladies really encouraged me and helped me realize that I am ready to move up. So although there wasn't any space for me at Snob Life, I was really sad. But Ming gave me the opportunity to stay within the Snob Life family, to work behind the scenes at her content office. And while I was attending Paul Mitchell, I really learned how to do more than just work behind the scenes, do more than just work behind a salon chair and just take clients. I learned that you are not limited to the salon life. It made me broaden my goals and reach higher. I attended hair shows to network and show my face, and I started working on more photo shoots outside of Snob Life. I finally graduated Paul Mitchell in December 2019. I previously passed, woo woo, but due to this coronavirus, State Board is not letting us take our exam, so I am not licensed yet. Who knows when that will be, but we just gonna pray on it. Pray for me, y'all. But right now, I am renting a booth at Get Glam Hair Salon owned by, thank you. I am renting a booth at Get Glam Hair Salon owned by Megan Monroe, which is a former Snob Life vet. And I am building my clientele. I am teaching classes. And with the coronavirus happening, like the previous girl said, I will be doing some virtual classes. I'll post that and let you all know like what classes I'll be teaching, what days and everything on my Instagram, which is Kaché the Rockstar. I plan to continue growing my hair business and building my brand stronger. And honestly, as I sit here with you all today, I have realized I've accomplished many things, but this is really still the beginning for me. Nicole, I sent you some questions that I collected on Instagram because these are the ones that I get the most. And if you all have questions after these most frequently asked questions, I'll be happy to answer that. You got them, Nicole?
Yes, ma'am. You know I do. You better cue me in, sis. I love it. Well, first thing first, definitely thank you for being here today. Thank you for sharing your story. I feel like, you know, oftentimes when people do summits or, you know, classes or whatever the case may be, they're just there to, like, teach you, but they don't tell you, like, their credentials. And sometimes that can really make people, like, I mean, no shade, but that can make them a little bit like, well, how do we know that you know what you're talking about? You could have read this on Wikipedia. So, like, please, like, where are the receipts? What is your experience? You know, so I feel like that's really important to share. And I really love your journey because not only are you saying, like, oh, I just went on a whim, but I went on a whim and I worked for it, right? So people are like, I'm going to just move to California and then, you know, Tyler Perry's going to call me. No, it's not. That's not what's going to happen.
Right.
So you went on a whim, but also had goals and things like that. So I love that. Thank you for that. Let's hop into these questions because there are definitely quite a few. First question, and I'm going to add some flair to it because I also kind of know some of your backstory, so I'm going to dive a little bit deeper. The first question is, why did you become a hairstylist? But adding on to that question of you becoming a hairstylist, I feel like, and again, let me know if I'm wrong, I feel like there was a time where you were fighting becoming a hairstylist.
Yes.
So, yes, boom, okay, I knew I wasn't crazy. So speak on that, why you became a hairstylist and what that journey looked like, because you were someone who at one point was like, oh, I'm not doing that full time. So let us know.
Right. So hair for me was always a side hustle. And it started as a side hustle in high school. Like I said, I've been in for like a little over 10 years. It started as a side hustle in high school because my mother wanted her hair done, and she probably will comment and tell me she didn't say this, but I promise y'all she said this. My mother,
I'm scared.
my mother told me if I did not sew in her hair that I was punished. Yes.
I need to mute myself. I'm gonna let you.
Okay, but she said I was going to be punished, guys, and honestly, I was like, I thought she was playing. Like, I'm like, Mom, what you talking about? She came home with all these YouTube tutorials, all these videos, and was like, Kai, you got to learn. So I actually practiced on, thank you, Aunt Sissy. I actually practiced on my next door neighbor, and it turned out bomb. Like, her family and her friends wanted me to do her hair, and then I did it on my mom. Her coworkers asked me to do her hair, and the next thing you know, it became a thing. But I've always been an arty-farty person, so I've always been into creating, and that's honestly why I became a hairstylist. And then when I moved to Atlanta, I became a hairstylist because it made the most financial sense. You know, it was a talent. It's one of many talents that I have that makes the most money. So why not monetize off of it? You know, but I do appreciate more than a money aspect of it. Like I said, my everyday girl next door black hotties are my favorite clientele. One, because I help boost their confidence and help them look their best selves every day. Like, who doesn't love? Oh, yes, my mother just mentioned it helped me pay my expenses in college, too. So, yeah, being a hairstylist is pretty lit. I'm rambling. Go ahead, Nicole, get the next question because I'm rambling. I will talk all day about
No,
that.
we love it. We love it. And don't worry, we have more than enough time, so you are doing good on timing. So,
Okay.
on to the next. So again, you told us how you became a hairstylist. How did your clientele grow so fast? Especially because, and again, backstory for anybody who's just joining us, you are not from Atlanta. You are from Baltimore. You've been doing it 10 plus years, but again, high school, college, all of that was in your hometown. Now you're somewhere, this is not your hometown. You haven't been here for 10 plus years, but yet you're growing your clientele and you're not even licensed. So,
Right.
tell us about that. How did that happen?
Honestly, my first month, so I have a hobby of dancing. I love to dance. My first month, I went to this dance studio called Dance 411, and I took a dance class with this girl because I told you I didn't know what I was going to do when I moved to Atlanta. I just knew I had a couple talents. Let me just explore all of them and see which one works. Let's be honest. I was just like, what's going to work here? So I went to that dance class, and I mingled with two girls. One is a media personality, and another, she's an actor. So I'm like, oh, good. They're in a different industry. Let me make friends with them. And I asked them if I could do their hair.
Mhm.
They was like, what, you do hair? I'm like, yeah. Let me show y'all. I'll do it for free. So it was a couple of, it was just me literally going around Atlanta telling people, oh, yeah, I do hair. Let me do your hair for free first. And then you're going to see what I'm working with. And, it just kept going like that. And when I got the job at Daydreams, which is the club, it's closed now, y'all, but don't come up here for that. But when when I got a job at Daydreams, that introduced me to my target audience. That introduced me to everybody who I was trying to reach. All the girls were in the club. They just want to look good. They just want to look good. Look, my mom giving me cue points. Yes, I also
Come on,
went
Mom.
college campuses. She's been there every step of the way.
Love it. My mom is sitting here watching,
campuses.
so I feel you. Hey, Mom.
I went on college campuses, and on Instagram, I went through hashtags of people in the area, like of restaurants and everything. Like, I was just in everybody's DMs. If you saw me trolling on your page, liking everything, that's because I just wanted you to know about me. You know, it was really just stepping out of my comfort zone, talking to strangers, and I did that, and I showed them what I can do. So luckily, I was good at it because I would have embarrassed myself if.
It's okay. It's okay. You'll learn from your lessons. And then with you growing your clientele, is that how you landed your job at Snob Life, or was there like some type of relationship prior? Or tell us how you went about getting that opportunity.
No, so I did not know Ming. I knew about Snob Life, and actually when I moved to Atlanta, I wanted to just stop in Snob Life, but I was scared as hell to go. I did not go. But one day I was on Instagram again. Instagram is the best. I was on Instagram and I saw this post, assistant needed. I'm like, oh, I know how to braid. I could do this. So I DM'd the girl. She had over 34K followers. I'm like, she probably not even going to read mine. But I DM'd her and let her know that I can be a great shampoo assistant or personal assistant, whatever you need. Luckily, she hit me back the next day and said, could you come in today at 3 o'clock? Oh, my God. I ran. And it was the same exact day I had the interview for Daydreams. So I put on my heels. I had on heels, sparkly pants, and a button-up, running into Snob Life to do a braid down. Like, I look quite foolish because I'm in heels and braiding hair and everything. But I ended up working that same day.
Oh, my God. So they hired you on the spot.
I worked 9 hours in the salon in heels that day. And Ming was like, you know, she's a diva. Ming was like, oh, you look good, but next time wear all black.
Like, period. I mean, it's cute and you got the braid down done, but. Honey.
Right. Oh, the braid down was fire. But, you know, she was like, but wear all black. She didn't care about the heels. She was like, keep the heels on, but wear all black.
Oh, my gosh. I love it. I love it. I love it. And while we're talking about, you know, Ming, how did you know her before you got there, or that was random? Okay.
I met her at that day. Yeah.
Okay. Sounds good. And then how do you also, you know, stay motivated? Because like you said, you made this leap, but also you just like went on a whim. You showed up in heels. Like you're making a lot of different moves. And it's like, how do you stay motivated to continue to keep pushing yourself to just make these leaps of faith?
Honestly, just remembering the sacrifice that I made moving here, you know, leaving my family and friends, it's tough being alone, you know, so just remembering that I left them, you know, I left them back at home, you know, they're missing me. I want to make it for a reason, you know. I don't want to go through, I'm trying not to cry, y'all, Lord Jesus.
Honey, I'm here for a little tear.
Let my family and friends down, you know, like, they are I'm trying not to cry, nigga. I'm emotional. I'm a Cancer, y'all, so I'm emo.
We're here for you. We're sending our love.
Like this, I just remember my why. I remember why did and then my grandmother just had recovered from a stroke, and I'm just like, I have to leave Mama, but I love you. Like, I gotta make something for myself. So it's not just for me, you know, it's not just so I can have financial freedom. It's so my friends, so my family, so my mother, my grandmother, my aunts, like, just so they understand that those empty times on Thanksgiving, Christmas, birthdays, you know, I'm missing it for a reason. So that's my motivation to keep going, and the reason why I'm like, all right, I may not have no clients today, but I gotta get up and make some money somewhere. You know, I gotta get up and move.
Absolutely. I'm showing my live that we are tuned in right now for the Women Collab Summit, also streaming on YouTube, so make sure you guys are tuning in. So that's really good, honestly. That's amazing to stay motivated. Also with that, because, you know, your family, your friends, and like your sacrifices basically keep you motivated. But also, do you find yourself like, okay, cool, my friends keep me motivated, like my friends here, or like people in the industry, or like your coworkers, or like, okay, I read, like you mentioned, a book before. Are there any like, okay, today I'm just, because we all have these days as entrepreneurs. today is just not my day. I'm not feeling it. It's raining. I don't want to get up. I'm not doing no hair. You know, whatever. What is your maybe top 3 or top 2 go-to? It's like, okay, let me read another book, get motivated. Maybe let me listen to a podcast, get motivated. Let me call my mom. Like, what are your top 2 go-to to stay motivated?
Well, number 1 is calling my mommy.
You right.
No, number 1 is calling my mother. I talk to her every day. I'm like, Mom, I'm not feeling this. I don't feel like doing this. She's like, Kaché,
pay my bills for me.
You know. So, and then I do pick up a book. It just depends. Like, it depends on the mood. I go listen to Eric Thomas on YouTube or in Apple Music. Or I'll even listen to my favorite song because I know it's just a moment. And being in entrepreneurship, you understand, you will go through these emotional roller coasters. So you kind of prepare yourself to bring yourself back up, you know. So my favorite song to put me back in the mood, I tell you, it's raining outside. That's okay. Listen to, you know, something ratchet.
No, definitely. I really feel like for me, it's the same thing. It's mom, number 1. Hazel, who's a speaker tomorrow. Oh my gosh, I really want to turn some of our, you know, phone calls or FaceTimes into a podcast because I could tell you, like, even sometimes, and sorry to any fellas who are tuned in, but if we're having like boy problems, our go-to line is get some business. Like, get some business. Right. You know, you're tripping, you're emotional. Oh my God, you didn't call. Girl, if you don't go get some business, like, that's like our go-to, right? So like we always
like some money.
Yeah, we always keep each other motivated by that. You know, I'm tripping about something, X, Y, and Z. Girl, go get some business. All right, bet. I'm about to get some business. You know, we'll stay focused like that. Something else, another question that we definitely want to ask is, what sets you apart from other stylists? First in Atlanta, but also everywhere. I mean, you are in a field that is oversaturated. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody, their mom, their cousin, their sister, they doing braid downs, slicking the edges, you know, ponytail attachments, selling bundles, whatever the case may be. And it's definitely an industry where there's a lot of versatility. There's a lot of room for it. However, you do have those, I'm here today, gone tomorrow. So what separates you?
Honestly, what separates me is as simple as my personality. You know, like I said, I was working amongst the great stylists, you know, the greatest stylists in Atlanta, and just seeing how they move, they just made sure, like, their clientele was a representation of them. So I understood that, okay, I need to have great customer service. I need to have a great personality. I can't come in here looking bummy or, you know, looking like I don't want to be here. I have to come in here with a great attitude because energy is everything. So just reminding myself that customer service and my client is the reason why I'm eating, and, you know, all of that, that's really what sets me apart. And then finding my niche. So just knowing, like, okay, I'm a wig, weave, and extension specialist. So sticking to that is like, okay, I'm narrowing down what I'm doing. That's sticking to, you know, that's what's setting me apart. In that specific area, specific category, and that narrows it down some. And then I have a great personality. I have great customer service. My clients get treated like they my family and friends. They my homegirls. They know they could talk to me about anything. Mm-hmm. They actually open up too much. Sometimes I be like, oh, girl, TMI.
It's
you
just
know?
Something about being in the chair that just makes you be like, all right, let me tell you
how I robbed the bank. It's a whole therapy session.
Like, I robbed the bank last week. Let me just tell you where the money's stashed. Like,
right. Oh, they be saying some stuff now. I be like, girl, I'll be braiding their hair, sewing in the weave, like.
No, definitely. And so with you making that move to Atlanta, why did you feel like you needed to leave Baltimore? Like, is this takeover, this dominating, you know, in the hair industry, is this not something that you could have done at home?
Definitely, but I always wanted to move to Atlanta. Before transferring to Towson, where I met you, before transferring there, I wanted to go to Clark Atlanta, and financial aid.
I was trying to go to Spelman, but they lost my application, so.
Oh, God. But yeah, I wanted to transfer there, and financial aid wasn't my best friend, so I went to Towson, and I just made a vow to myself that I'm gonna move to Atlanta. I'm gonna make something for myself, and plus, just understanding your price points, understanding your value. honestly, people in Baltimore don't want to pay my prices. So guess what? I gotta go.
I gotta
And
go
when I
somewhere
come
where
back,
they will. Yeah.
yeah. So just understanding that, like, I do come home back and forth and adjust my prices when I come home to do hair because I understand understanding my audience. That's why I
Yeah,
came
and
home.
so with you, making this move, like, how is it being so far away from your friends and family? I mean, we can clearly tell that you and your mom have a really close relationship. You mentioned your grandmother, earlier. You talked about how your friends are a motivator. So first, I guess it's a two-part. One, did you know a lot of people when you were going to Atlanta? Maybe that's why you felt comfortable. Or if not, or even if you did, how do you feel about being so far away from your home base that you've had all your life?
Well, no, I did not know anyone. I had this lousy boyfriend though, here in Atlanta. Um, that's the only person I knew. He got kicked out soon, but I didn't know anybody. Like, it was
Mhm.
weird. It was so weird. A year later though, I did convince my best friend. She's upstairs, so she's in here. But I convinced her to move out here because I was
Okay.
that lonely. Like, it's tough. It's really
Oh my
tough.
God.
She was like, okay, I guess. But
Well, I hope things are going as well for her as they are for
yes,
you.
no, she loves it.
Okay.
She's grown her business and grown herself as an entrepreneur as well. I pushed her some, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's going well.
Okay. Awesome. And let's see, we have a few more questions. Oh, we got somebody in the chat that they went to Towson too. Hey,
Ooh,
girl.
have some bread.
Towson in the building. Even though they got corona.
Oh God.
Okay. All right. So a few more questions. Also, guys, ladies and gents, if you are tuned in, if you have questions, I know we have some YouTube viewers as well. If you have questions, drop them in the chat either on YouTube or if you are in the webinar summit room, drop some questions because we'll ask them as well. But I do have a few more here. You also mentioned about how, like, you worked multiple jobs when you were starting out. And again, this is always like the misconception that, like, if you're going to be an entrepreneur, like, that's all you do. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you're a hairstylist, you better not be driving Uber, or you can't be a bottle girl, or whatever the case may be.
Get the
Like, don't do
corn.
anything but what you said you were going to do. So clearly we have a different mindset. We got bills to pay. Can you speak on, like, how you were humbled enough to be like, okay, well, I need extra coin, or I want to get another job? What did that look like?
It's just the power of understanding, taking one step back to move 20 steps forward. Like, I I did quit every job I had the top of 2017. So I
Mhm.
told myself, I'm not writing a resume. I'm not doing another job. But I tell
Mhm.
you, at the end of 2017, going in 2018, I'm like, Ma, help me write this resume. Like,
Mhm.
it was just it's knowing yourself and trusting yourself and understanding that this is temporary. This is not long term. So it took me to step outside of myself and say, okay, Kai, go get a job. But I knew I wasn't gonna get no regular job. I knew I was
Yeah.
gonna get something for fast money. So
Mhm.
I finessed my way in daydreams too. But I can't even talk about that. But
Girl, yeah, that'll be for the after hours summit. About
yeah.
the finessing.
Yeah.
Always.
It's just
Um,
you gotta do what you gotta do to get where you gotta go.
Definitely. And I mean,
That's it.
with you taking these other part-time jobs, and stuff like that, you had a purpose for them, right? So you didn't go work
Mhm.
at McDonald's to meet a bunch of people.
Right.
You went to, okay, a club. Like you said, I want these
I
everyday
wanted
hottie
fast
girls.
money and I wanted my clients.
Absolutely. So you're like, well, why don't I go work somewhere like that? Whether you were a cocktail waitress, a bottle girl, whatever the case, working at Ming's salon, maybe just as a shampoo girl, whatever the case looks like, right? And then you even said you became a personal assistant to a stylist. Like, everything about the journey, even though it might not have been the direct connect to, okay, I'm a stylist, here's my booth, I got all
It
these
wasn't
clients.
intentional, but it was purposeful.
It was still very intentional, and it was what led to the journey, and the journey that's still continuing to go, which I definitely think is really important, because, again, that misconception that I'm just going to wake up, I got clients calling my phone, I've never done hair before, but Hey, I'm making millions. Yeah. So also, what advice do you give a new stylist either moving to Atlanta or honestly anywhere? Because like you said, you're taking your brand globally. So like, what advice starting out do you have? Let's just talk about that.
Honestly, just do it. Like, it's as simple as that. It's just do it. Nike has the best slogan. Just do it.
Mhm.
You will never feel prepared. You will never feel ready. You will never feel like you have it all. But
Mhm.
you're gonna learn throughout your journey. You're gonna learn how to effectively grow your business. And I remember Michelle said she failed a lot, but it wasn't necessarily a failure. They were lessons,
Mhm.
and just understanding that this is a journey that you're taking and you can do it.
Mhm.
Believing in yourself is the number one thing to do, because like I said, people doubted me. Even my mother
Mhm.
thought I was crazy. Like, I said, "Ma, I'm not crazy, but I'm
She
crazy enough to
honestly
take the
should not
chance."
be surprised. At this point, my mom is so not surprised by any craziness that I do. She'd be like, "Okay, baby, all right."
Right. Yeah, that's how she is now. She's like, "You can do it now." She's like,
Oh
"Yeah,
yeah, they on board now. And I know my mom's sitting back here rolling her eyes, but they on board now. But still concerned, but they're on board.
Right, right. Still a
Um,
mommy, but
and so with that, just do it. What what additional tips, like, okay, so I'm gonna just do it, I'm gonna become a stylist, I'm ready to take that journey, but like you said, there are so many different journeys. You're just taking your test, you're just becoming certified, but you were doing it before, so what does that look like? Do you suggest this is the path you need to take, get your license first? Do you suggest learning? Do you suggest just like what tips can you give, like where to start?
I feel like I can't, like, to be honest, I can't necessarily say do X, Y, and Z, because everyone's journey is different. Everyone has a
Absolutely.
different methodology. It's like thinking about something as simple as a destination, and there's different paths to get to that one destination. So
Mhm.
just understanding that what's for you will be for you, and
Mhm.
taking and creating your own journey will help that. So I'm not saying don't go without a plan. Like,
Yeah.
definitely plan something. Like,
Yeah. But also
but
don't
it
feel
depends.
like one path is the only path to take.
Right,
You
right.
know.
So it's like I said, my journey isn't gonna be your journey.
Mhm.
My steps that I took isn't gonna be your steps that you may take. Now they may be similar,
Mhm.
but like, I can't really answer that question for
Okay.
real.
That definitely sounds good. And then also the evolution of, being an entrepreneur, being a business. Tell us right now where your business is. Again, you did mention it in the beginning. You're the owner, and I don't want to say it.
Mhm.
I'll let you say it. But also talk about your current business, all of the entities under it, because again, when you're an entrepreneur, you're a hairstylist specific. It's not just I only see you in the salon. So tell them all the umbrellas that you have currently, and then also where do you see that going with expansion? I know B. Simone always says how she's the manifest queen. I'm all about manifestation. So, goals that you have. Maybe you want to open a salon. Maybe you want to open a school. Something like that. Let us know.
Oh my gosh, I have a career bucket list.
Love
Um,
it.
but right now, right now, I am mastering being a hairstylist. So that's just growing myself and expanding beyond the chair.
Hmm.
So I've been working behind the scenes on photo shoots. After I obtained my license, I have a connect to work on TV and film with a lady by the name of Tracy Moss. She just did Bad Boys 3. Yeah, whatever the recent
Love
one
it.
was.
Yeah. Three.
Um, it's like the Tyler Perry Studios has a spot for me. So it's just working behind the scenes. I even thought about getting into hair loss restoration, doing cranial prostheses. So, which is yeah, I'll be able to accept insurance with that. So,
That's
just getting
really
into the
good.
medical side of hair,
Hmm.
just really mastering being a hairstylist. And as far as my brand, I plan to make it like this big wig warehouse, like
Okay.
this, like it's coming, y'all. I don't want to release too much, but it's coming.
Okay, no, we're totally fine with that. Whatever you're ready to share,
Yeah.
let us know. But wig warehouse sounds good to me, honey, because, you know, when I saw all this stuff, I be weed. But okay.
Yeah.
And so definitely any final thoughts, anything that we didn't touch on. I know we did a lot of Q&A, but anything that we missed, anything like that.
I don't know. Just we talked about a lot, but for everybody out there, just do you, boo, and be the best self you can be. That's it.
And how can they get in contact with you? I mean, I know you did. Also, in the beginning, you mentioned how you do classes. Are you doing any virtual classes or like any digital? What digital services are you providing right now that people can get?
Yeah. So right now, I'm trying to set it up on Zoom. I will be putting out a schedule. I will be putting out a schedule on my Instagram and on my website. My website is dosehaircompany.com, and my Instagram is Kaché the Rockstar for my personal hairstyling things, and my business Instagram is Dose Hair Co. So let me put that down here.
Yeah, put it in the chat.
I'm on mobile, so it takes my screen away.
Okay, so then we'll wait. You can put it in once we're finished. And also after, you know, you put it in the chat, we did drop your Instagram in the chat as well for anybody who wants to follow you, connect with you. I'm sure the links are in your bio as well. But just in addition, when we finish the thank you email for anyone who did register, if you didn't register, you can also register for day 2, so that way we have your email. We will be providing the best way to contact any of these sources, any, you know, projects, classes, courses that the speakers have going on, so that way you guys can, okay, what did they say? What was the link? It'll be all in one place. But yes, thank you so much for hopping on. I know we had our issues about like logging on and stuff, but we figured it out.
Girl, it was crazy. But
yes,
we're here. We made it.
We are here.
Thank
you so much, and definitely stay safe in this Rona season. And we will talk soon.
All right. See you later.
All right, girl. You know how to get off? Okay, awesome. So in the meantime, while she is hopping off, we are going to keep it moving, y'all. This is day 1 of the 2-day summit. So let's see. Let me make sure she's off. Okay, there we go. Perfect. So this is day 1 of the 2-day Women Collab Summit. I definitely just want to say thank you all so much for, you know, being here, and thank you so much for hopping online with us and just really being a part. Hold on, let me make sure she's off. Kaché, you still on there? Let's see. All right, it'll probably get you off there. Just mute your mic for me, and then it should take you off. Okay, so sorry, y'all. While we're transitioning speakers. But yes, so definitely thank you so much. Again, if you have friends who want to tune in, because we do have one more speaker, so it's not over. Don't leave yet. So we have one more speaker coming up who I'm going to introduce you to. But yes, if you have a friend who wants to join in or wants to tune in and they can't get in because the room is full, I'm going to drop the YouTube link, and they can live stream and watch on our YouTube link right now. There have been some delay issues going on, so just be mindful if it is a slight delay on the YouTube. You may want to just have them register and download. So you may want to have them download and register, because that has been seen to be the best way to stream everything. So let me go ahead and make sure we are all good and set up for our next speaker. Miss Raro's coming up. I'm going to do her intro. Let me just get everything set up, guys. Sorry, I'm on mobile, so it gets a little tricky. All right, let's see. Cool. All right, Raro's in there. I know it turned off on me earlier, so it got really tricky and really weird. All right, awesome. So let's go ahead and let me tell y'all about my girl, Miss Raro. All right. So first off, she's going to be talking about digital marketing and pitching your brand. And honestly, I left her for last because I really wanted y'all to get this information. And, you know, sometimes people could be a little bit late. Also because tomorrow I'm going to be kicking off the Day 2 Summit, and I'll be talking about how you can brand your business for free. So I thought that it would be great to talk about digital marketing and pitching your brand, and then kick off Day 2 with even more digital marketing tips and tidbits. So that being said, those are the topics that she's going to be speaking on. A little bit about Raro. She is Nigerian American, so shout out to her. She's an award-winning TV/media personality. In addition, Raro is an expert in marketing and PR and special events production. She graduated from Towson in 2014. I always forget that. It's so many Towson alum. With a bachelor's in business admin and marketing. Immediately after graduating, Raro created RLTV and RaroLay.com with a mission to bridge the gap between African and Western entertainment. From interviewing and covering events with Tiffany Haddish, Denzel Washington, Tiwa Savage, Kevin Hart, Adewine Gold, sorry for the name botching, I'm so sorry, Taraji P. Henson, and Basket Mouth, to name a few. To marketing for brands such as Bumble, Merit Club, Hennessy, Reebok, and more. So, with no further introduction, Miss Raro, you can go ahead and hop on for me, sis, and I will let you take over.
Hey, can you guys all see me?
No. Oh, wait, there you go. Oh, you're so cute.
Yay! Okay, so I'm all set?
Yes, if you could please just drop the presentation in the chat, and so people can follow along with you.
Okay.
And I had to go mobile, I can't share.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, let me just, it's not letting me share it just yet.
Is it on Canva?
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
So just share the link?
Yeah, just share a view option, and it should create the link.
Got it. Let me go back. Sorry about that, guys.
No biggie. And for all the YouTube viewers, I will drop it in here as in the YouTube chat as well, so they can follow along as well.
Awesome. That works perfectly because obviously I'll be talking a lot, but I don't want to like talk too quickly and people miss certain parts of it, because I will be dropping some template information as well, which has been very helpful for me, both on the influencer side, but then also as the influencer rep side as well. But let me just go ahead and grab the link for you really quickly.
Okay. And how is your day going today?
It is going well. As you know, I have been moving, so if you guys see any craziness in the background, just ignore that.
Move the camera down just a little bit. It's like on your chin.
Okay. Let's see. Ooh, okay.
All right, there we go.
Can you see?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, and I'm just pulling the link right now. I think it just lets me get shareable link. Let me just do that. Got it. I think that's the right link. Yeah, it is. Alrighty. Okay, so I just sent the shareable link in there.
Okay. All right, everybody, let's follow along. YouTube viewers, I am dropping the link now. Cool. Awesome. I'm in here. So I'm going to go ahead and hop off and let you take over. And, of course, as always, we'll do a bit of Q&A after. So if anybody has any questions, feel free to drop them in the chat, or if you want to hold them until the end and then for the Q&A portion. So I yield the floor to you.
Thank you so much, Nicole, and thank you for allowing me to be a part of this.
Of course.
So I'm going to go ahead and get started. My name is Raro, and Nicole, thank you for the introduction. And so just a little bit of a background. I kind of said it inside my little mini bio, but I have a business, a bachelor's in business administration and marketing, and in addition to that, it's kind of weird because how I like came about to be inside just the media side of it, the influencer side, and the marketing. The marketing's obvious because you're like, okay, yes, she went to college for this, and she got her degree and multiple other certifications in it. But the media side kind of came along because I think it was funny, the lady before me, just knowing that she spoke about like having different careers. I think Nicole also mentioned it, having different careers. So my journey has in no way been a straight line. I didn't land my dream job out of college. That was not a thing. And I definitely have always had that like hustler mentality. I was born and raised in Baltimore, so I feel like that's half of it, and the other half of it is me being Nigerian. So you just naturally have those hustler vibes inside of you because you're just like, I gotta make it and I gotta get out of here. I'm not staying in the same situation that I have been in before. I want to keep elevating and I want to keep moving. So in undergrad, I originally went to Mount St. Mary's University. I transferred to Towson University after the first year. Mount St. Mary's University was in the mountains. All you had to do was house parties, Walmart runs. Yes, Walmart runs was a social gathering. And then also, oh Lord, what did we have? Oh, snowboarding. So that was great. I learned how to snowboard, but I learned how to do that in high school. So that was fun. That was cool. But I was like, okay, I need more. I didn't feel as if I was in my purpose. I wanted somewhere that had a little bit more city life. And so I ended up transferring to Towson University. At first I wasn't excited about it because I'm like, I'm really close to my family again. I love my mom and dad, but if any of y'all got like international parents, you know that they can get pretty intense. While normal kids were out playing and on their bikes and everything, my parents were dropping me at the library from about 9 or 10 a.m. until the library closed. And I kid you not, this was since elementary school, middle school. I had older sisters, so they would be with me as well. So it was also interesting. Hey, Tracy! I just saw Tracy on here. So once I transferred to Towson, I actually got involved in the nightlife, and I also worked for Hennessy. And so I started off, I was full-time in college, but then I also had a retail job. And so I was working at Ann Taylor Loft, and then after that, I ended up working for a law firm that also is in the Baltimore area. But I was like, okay, my bills are escalating. I need more money. Like, this isn't cutting it for me. So I was invited to apply for a Hennessy position as a brand ambassador. And so I wish I had found out sooner because I'm literally 21 years old, and now it's probably like, okay, that's low. But at 21 years old, I was getting paid $45 or $50 an hour. When I tell you the only time you saw me on campus was when I was at my classes and when I was eating lunch alone in the dining hall. That was the only time. So with Hennessy, we would have like either off-campus activations, which were like at liquor stores, or we would be at clubs. I ended up being one of the head managers, so I started going to all the different corporate events and all the different conferences and hearings and different things like that. And so with that, one of our major clients were the nightlife people. So I think I ended up going to an event. It was like a African entertainment nightlife event. And I think at that time I was working for Bacardi. So working with Bacardi, I had a table there, and I don't want to ramble. So, and I'm the worst because I will keep on going. So essentially, I met somebody working in the nightlife. At first, they just wanted me to come on and help them with sending out their event invites, writing the press release for those, and sending out the newsletter. He was horrible at writing, and he just at first just showed me, and I was like, absolutely not. So that's how I actually got my foot in the door. Next thing you know, I was loving the culture. I was born in Baltimore, raised Nigerian. When it comes to whatever food it was, I was that kid with jollof, plantain, egusi soup, going to school, like, unlike the other kids who had Lunchables, but at the same time, I wasn't fully in the know of, like, what was in with, like, certain types of music. So with doing that, I started knowing more, I started learning more, people started asking me, like, oh, I believe you're well-spoken, could you, like, stand in as a media personality for this organization, because I work with a lot of different African celebrities. And so at first I said yes, and pretty soon I was like, you know what, I want to create a platform more specifically for my friends and people in the nightlife is the best networking place. People don't know it. You meet so many people. And literally, it has nothing to do with, like, the nightlife per se, but you meet these people in that environment, and next thing you know, I'm like, you have opportunities out of this world. But yeah, so I ended up, I was like, let me create this platform, which was rawrelay.com. I created rawrelay.com, and with that, I was able to really just share content. Yeah, don't get drunk. Don't do that. That's the worst. Like, then you'll make a fool of yourself, and all those connections will go away. But I was able to make rawrelay.com, and I focused on bridging the gap between African and Western entertainment. So I was providing the best of both worlds from the African side and the best of both worlds from the American side, and people that I had met in the nightlife when I was working there as a promoter, also throwing these different concerts with these different international and African celebrities. I was like, you know what, I need you to come on my show so I can do an interview with you. Before you know it, I was getting millions of hits on rawrelay.com, and with that, I was getting hundreds of thousands of views on my different interviews, getting featured on ABC, Fox, CBS, any outlet you could probably think of, Shade Room, Baller Alert, like from your online outlets to your TV outlets, I was being featured on them, and it was just because I had created a specific niche. And so that's how I really got my start. At the same time, I had launched my marketing company, because at the end of the day, I wanted to be able to create a platform also that I could promote my clients on it, that even if, for example, CBS or ABC didn't want to pick them up, I would pick them up, and it would hold just as much grounding. And that was always my intent with the site. And so that was a little bit of background. In addition to that, I do have my marketing company where I focus on digital marketing, social media management, and special event production. So that's your concerts, that's your kickoff parties, that's your influencer welcome parties, as well as like networking mixers as well. And then on the flip side, I also, thank you. On the flip side, I also am the Washington, D.C. area media manager for Bumble, where I work directly with like digital marketing and influencer marketing efforts there. And lastly, I also am an influencer as well. So that's why I always love talking about pitching to brands, but then also digital marketing, because I work on both sides of it. So I understand, okay, how it feels to be pitching to people and not getting a response. But then I also understand what the brands are actually looking for when they're looking to work with different influencers. So I am going to jump on I'm going to go and jump into the presentation. You guys help me out, because I do happen to ramble a little bit, and that's only because I work in so many different markets a little bit, but all with the same general niche, but sometimes there's just so much going through my head. Okay, so let's hop into rate kits. Rate kits are so important, and it baffles me because a lot of influencers, a lot of brands, and this is not only for influencers, this is also for just entrepreneurs. These are for people, anyone who would be looking for sponsorships, looking for grants or things of that nature. You may not refer to it as a rate kit if you're not directly an influencer. You might refer to it as your EPK. You might refer to it as your sponsorship package. But these are some of the things targeted for rate kits right now that will help make you stand out to brands and make their job easier, because they get tons and tons of submissions all the time. And if you have, it's like your resume. If you have someone who literally ticks off every single thing in the job description and it's all right there in one screen, I don't have to be like, oh, send me your social media, send me this, send me that. It's all in one clear and concise place. So with the rate kits, it allows brands to know that you mean business. And this is so important, because when someone sees your rate kit, when you're pitching to somebody, you're like, hey, I'm interested in working with your company. I would love to send over my rate kit. Sometimes I don't even send over my rate kit in the initial email, but I'll get to that in the next slide. But I will at least have the option of saying my rate kit, or if you would like to know more information about me, in my EPK, which is your electronic press kit. And when you do that, they're like, oh, okay, this is an influencer that has their stuff together, and this isn't just somebody who is just kind of like, you know, feeling it out. Rate kits are essentially influencers' business plans or their business pitching plan. And with your rate kit, you should be clear, concise, and persuasive. So I used an example of one of my past rate kits. I don't think this is the updated one, but in the first page of it, I didn't put my rates. That would be on the second page. But on the first page of it, I have the about. I have a YouTube call out that also says how many views I get, because some brands, they might work with only Instagram, but a lot of brands, they want to work with people that are on different platforms. So not only Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. These are all different platforms that are so easy to monetize, and you kind of have a different crowd. Like, for example, we all make that joke where it's like, on Facebook, you're like, and then on Twitter, like, this crazy person saying whatever, your different thought process. On Instagram, it's like your highlight reel of like how fabulous your life is. And then on Snapchat, you're just going crazy, like, this is not safe for kids. But I don't even know if people use Snapchat anymore. So you have these different platforms, and brands recognize this, and they recognize that people's reach, their impressions, and honestly, the loyalty of their audience differs depending on it. So you always want to include all of your social media information, where I kind of put some of the stats on the bottom of that current month, of the monthly impressions, the reach, and different things of that nature. Also for the press, it always helps to stand out. And the thing is, never consider any type of press, any type of feature as something that is too trivial. Nothing is trivial. If you have been featured somewhere, whether it is a local blogger sometimes have bigger reaches than some of these big brands, and you always have to start somewhere, because those big brands, for example, will see that, oh, they've been featured here, they have this reach. So in addition to only your social media reach, you now have print media reach and TV personality and media stuff reach, essentially. And so that shows that you have an additional added value. So I always recommend adding that. If, for example, you don't have any press or something, you could include speaking engagements or include different things that call out or specialize. When I talk to clients, we always work towards seeing what call outs and what things make them stand out aside from the other competitors in the field, and I'm sure to include that in there to make sure that the client really stands out. But those are certain things that if you, for example, weren't working with an influencer specialist or a marketing specialist, you could just kind of brainstorm those things on your own and add that into your rate kit. Also, I included that competitive price rates are imperative. So make sure that you research, and this will be on the second page, where you kind of say, you give the breakdown. For example, a static post on your timeline costs this much. A post in your story costs this much. Yes, you are supposed to be paid individually for both things. So if a brand reaches out to you and they're like, I would love for you to put a static post on your timeline, maybe they give you, it has to be on there for 6 months or for a year, and it can't be deleted or removed or archived until that duration of time runs out. And then they also ask you for a story post. You have 100% the right to say, oh, okay, of course I can include a story post, but that would be an additional X, Y, and Z amount, because your story post allows them to reach different people that might not see you organically pop up on their timeline. And a lot of times, there's certain people that only look at stories, there's certain people that only look at the timeline, and they know this. So that's why sometimes they'll try and slip that in, like, oh, a story post and a timeline post, you absolutely should be being paid for each individual post. Of course, there is room for negotiations, and it's ultimately up to you or whoever your brand rep is to decide decide what is the best fit for you. But ultimately, those are two different things that you could be charging for. And then in addition, if they want 2 to 3 slides, that's another package that you could put together. I give them the option of individually paying me for a static post or a story post, but then I also break it down into packages. And so I have the Raro Lay package, I have the Lativational package, and certain things only include Instagram. Other things include having video and photo. Video is worth more. So if you are creating videos for these clients or for these brands, then you would charge more for a video than you would for a photo, because visual content and video content translates better into sales and gives them a better ROI, return on investment, when they do that. And that's why a lot of times you see brands using videos versus just pictures, because videos allow you to tell more of a story. If you are just using photos, I never work with a brand I don't believe in. So when I am telling a story in my caption, it is 100% true. Even, for example, I worked with a brand a couple months ago, and it was a protein powder and different supplements. I told them that I needed at least 2 weeks' time to test out the product and use the exact guidelines that they gave me before I would feel comfortable with posting online whether it worked for me or not. Because the minute your audience doesn't trust you, you will notice that your engagement will go down, and you'll realize that in that same moment, you also will start losing. Someone is calling me during this. Oh, Lord. Oh, my God. I think that was my rental office, and I'm pretty sure I just hung up on them. So anyways, but I need to put my phone on Do Not Disturb. But essentially, that will basically, like, you want to make sure that you have these different things and you have them all, your ducks in a row. That kind of threw me off a little bit, so don't mind me. So email template. That is very, very important. Of course, whenever you're pitching to these brands, I know a lot of people always want to, hey, my name is so-and-so, I do this, this, and this, I've been featured here, this is how much, like, followers I have, blah, blah, blah. And that is not the way to go about it. So for example, I in the presentation, if you guys do have your presentations out, and I'm going to bring this a little closer to my screen because I'm semi-blind, but I started the pitch and the template with, dear insert PR influencer rep name. This is important because do the research and find out what the name is of the person that you're trying to reach directly. I guarantee you, if you use their name, and even if you CC the general email on top of it, you're going to realize that you will get almost 50% at least more of a chance that they're actually going to respond to you, because they know that you are reaching out to them directly and you're not just spamming a whole bunch of brands asking for something. But then after that, I included my name is, and I'm just going to fill this in with my info. So my name is Raro Lay, and I would put that I am a TV personality, but if I'm reaching out to a brand, a lot of times, a little thing that people don't know, brands, you really want to stick to saying what industries you influence in. So if I'm reaching out to a fitness brand, or I'm reaching out to, I don't know, a home brand, I don't only focus on interior design, and I don't focus on fitness all the time. Like, I post when I'm in the gym, but I wouldn't say as far as that I'm a fitness expert, not at all, not in any sense. So I always say that I am a lifestyle influencer because I show different things in my regular day-to-day lifestyle that has influence, and I feel as if it is more organic, because that way my audience, they realize, oh, like, Raro's at home. By the way, that's a nice couch you have, Raro. Like, where'd you get it from? Well, I'm not giving that info unless that brand is paying me. Just kidding. I always give the info anyways. But it helps when you're tagging that and it's organically showing inside of it. So I'm going to say, yes, so I am a lifestyle, entertainment, and entrepreneur influencer. And then in addition to that, I'm interested in partnering with your team to market. So for example, right now, I'm pitching to a lot of brands because I just moved. And so I pitched to one brand, All's Well, and I actually was able to get a free bed, an amazing mattress topper. I don't know if you guys can see my bed behind me, and really nice pillows, therapeutic pillows. This was all a $1,400 value of free products they gave me. But on top of that, I was able to also convey my worth, and I also was able to be paid a fee as well. So you have to know, like, there's nothing wrong with only accepting free products, but if you're going to take the time to make videos for it, create the content, edit the content, like, go out of your way, do your makeup, do all this stuff and everything, you need to be paid for your time. And so you need to be able to convey that. So, for example, I was saying in my pitch, I'll give you guys a little bit more information because this is just a big one for you guys to fill in, but I was like, I'm interested in partnering with your team to market All's Well's beds. I've done extensive research, and I realized that this has been extremely helpful. I'm just paraphrasing what I said. This has been extremely helpful for previous clients, and especially I moved in with my boyfriend. I said my boyfriend was in an accident, suffered from back problems, so we would be able to testify to our audience how authentic and how your products actually really work. And so I just put that little snippet and like let them know, okay, she really does know our products. She truly is a fan of our products. After that, you're going to state how you will assist them. So you already kind of said, like, I would love to market this specific product, but then now you're going to say, I would love to create video, photo content with these unique marketing strategies. So for example, some of the strategies that I had included were working from home. Right now is the most amazing time to pitch these brands that have household products, because one, pitch to be paid, but also pitch for products. You can't do a review without the product. So, and anyone who ever asks you, even if they say 50% off of it and you get an affiliate code, absolutely not. That is a scam. That is not how proper influencer marketing relationships should be done. You should never have to pay for the product for you to be marketing their product to your audience. That's just absolutely not acceptable at all. So don't accept those. But then I mentioned I wanted to do a work from home tour and how I integrate this into like my daily lifestyle. I wanted to have a testimonial video as to using this bed, how it has impacted me in a business sense. Now I'm well rested versus how I wasn't before. I wanted to talk about buying things on a budget when you're moving, and then also a combination of his and her world, like just different things that I kind of pitched, different stuff. So like kind of like try and show them, don't give them detail for detail about what you're exactly going to do for them, but give them topics that you're going to try and focus on. And that's why you're also, later on you'll see that I'll prompt you to say, oh, a call to action, I would love to set up a call for us to further discuss like this opportunity. But then after that, you want to say your proven experience. And it's so funny because I also work in IT and I'm a business proposal manager, and this is a lot like our RFI and our RFQ and our sources sought like submissions for contract proposals with the government. You always want to show your proven experience. People want to see, when have you been successful with doing this before? And so with that, you have your proven experience, your proven results, and your return on investment. Promise you, throw in that ROI. They want to hear that language. It's your return on investment. How many times have you posted something and maybe that translated into 200 link clicks for that brand? So you are driving at least 200 direct people to that brand, and you can mention that in past previous marketing and influencer campaigns that were similar to your brand. Don't name the brands because you don't know if they're like in a weird relationship or competitive and like don't like that brand. So I avoid naming what specific brand I worked with before, but I mentioned that in previous campaigns. I have been able to do this. So I'll talk about my ROI. I'll talk about meeting the different KPIs. I'll talk about my organic engagement. Brands, honestly, they could care less about your likes. They see it, but they want, the comment section is where it's at. So they're going to add up the likes with the comments, but they want to see that conversation going inside your comment section. So if you're not engaging, if you're just posting and going, or if you're just, if you're just liking comments and not responding to them, that will adversely affect you. And so you want to keep pushing up that engagement. So respond to your comments within the first 10 to 15 minutes if you can. I know it can be hard sometimes, but I always say, make sure post your pictures during lunchtime if that's the only free hour you have, because for 30 minutes prior to you posting, you want to be engaging with your timeline and you want to be engaging with the hashtags that you already used. Then when you post it, obviously you're engaging in real time with those people commenting with you. Because if you guys go and look at my comment sections, sometimes I be getting like 100-something comments. I'm replying to every single one, and that is what has helped me so much because my engagement is so high. And then in addition to it, 30 minutes after you post, you want to still be engaging with your hashtags especially, because if you can engage very highly with your hashtags, you'll realize that, and that's liking, and commenting. I think Gary Vee, he has the $1.80 strategy, and I can include information about that later on, but essentially it's commenting on liking 3 pictures and then commenting on 1, liking 3 pictures. It takes a lot of work. Like, this is not something that's fun to do, but then you also want to make sure that you're commenting thoughtful things so these people in turn will come back and follow you, or at least they'll come back and engage with you as well. And so doing that will help with driving your engagement. Lastly, you want to close out again with a guarantee for a return on their investment, a call to action to set up and follow up a call or meeting, and be sure to include your social media links. Never include pricing in the intro email. Do not, thank you, Donovan, do not do that. So that can be, for example, some people have a lower budget than what you want. Some people might have a higher budget. So when you put that pricing info, it kind of can be a little bit off-putting, like, to brands, and you don't want it to seem as if, like, hey, I'm trying to get your money, what's up, like, right away. Like, if you were, I don't know, think about dating, think about work relationships. You ease your way into it. Like, you don't just demand things from somebody, and putting your pricing is demanding. So a lot of times, just how you guys saw me in the presentation break it up with the first page, and I just only showed the first page, if I am going to include my rate sheet or my EPK, I'm going to only include that first page at first. And then once they say that they are interested and they would like to follow up, they're going to ask you for pricing. Brands know they should ask you for pricing. The only time that they're not going to is, like, maybe they're trying to get away with it, or maybe they just don't have a budget. And I pick and choose. Sometimes having the product is enough for me. Like, for example, if somebody offered me a free couch right now, listen, I would take the couch. Like, it's fine. Like, if that's a $1,200, $2,000 couch, that's fine, because I am ultimately furnishing my house for free. But next, I want to go into, yes, take that couch. Yes, next, I want to go into digital marketing. So I'm just going to touch on this a little bit. I usually, like, post stuff all the time about, like, marketing. But with digital marketing, essentially, most of us know what is digital marketing right now, and we're kind of moving over from a space of only being in print marketing, because digital is faster, it's more efficient, honestly, it's cheaper than a whole bunch of print marketing, and you're able to measure the results a little bit more accurately. But that does not mean that you should only be using digital marketing. So digital marketing can include your email marketing plans, it can include social media marketing as well. So marketing, paid ads, organic engagement, essentially utilizing influencers as well on these different social media channels. It includes a plethora of things that are online. I personally work with my clients to do social media management, and then as well as copywriting for email campaigns, newsletters, EPKs, bios, call to actions, and things of that sort on these different social media platforms. But before you get into marketing online, and I think people just like skipping into it, and that's why they get so frustrated, because you're like, let me make this content in real time, let me do all of this stuff, but you have no direction. So you have to have your business plan in order for you to be able to effectively carry out a social media plan, to carry out a digital marketing strategy. You have to plan it out before you just do it. You can't just say, oh, I'm online right now and I'm posting on my Instagram, I'm posting on Twitter, I've got a few influencers to post some things, I have this kind of Instagram video that I have, let me post that on the timeline as well. That is not effective marketing, and that is not effective digital marketing, and a lot of times that's why it doesn't work. Real digital marketing works and has proven results when you take the time out to, one, get together your business plan, but then also to get together your digital marketing strategy. And so with your digital marketing strategy, you're going to want to include these different things, and on the next slide I kind of went into it, but before you get into the strategy and your business plan, you're going to have your goals. You're going to have your mission. You're going to have your target audience. You're going to have your stats. Audit your company and see where you are standing right now, because the only way to move forward is to recognize where you are, and then from that point you start measuring what's working, what's not. Then you're going to strategize. So based on the findings that you found in that company audit, in your social media audit, you're going to strategize and say, okay, I'm going to go ahead and make the next 1 month of content. Usually let's say 2 or 3 months, but we're going to go and we're just going to work on the next 1 month of content. So that might mean I'm not posting, I am standing still, and I am a woman of faith, I am a Christian, and the only time you can hear God is when you stand still. So the only time when you can hear good things is when you stand still and really just evaluate what is going on. So you're going to get together and essentially strategize, looking at those old numbers and saying, okay, I realize that people like when I post this type of picture, or they're kind of a little bit more engaged when I post a video. So now I'm going to work on, maybe I want to post videos 1 or 2 times a week. So I'm going to work on creating at least 8 videos for the month. Then I'm also going to have some graphics that I'm going to kind of incorporate into that. But it's going to be based on my audience. So who are you trying to target? First and foremost, your friends are not your target audience. Your friends most likely will support you at the launch, and then maybe they'll support you when you start getting a little bit more popping. But your target audience, most times, honestly, are the people that you do not know. So with that target audience of the people you do not know, you need to be able to kind of just clarify who they are and see ways, what are they interested in? What do they want to see on their timelines? It's not about you, like, as much as we want it to be. It'll help you and it'll translate into sales for you, but as much as we want social media, like, to be about us, if you really want to see a return on your investment, if you want to see whatever your content, the content you're posting, translate into sales, you have to really have the target market, your target market in mind, and gear all of your content and all of your digital marketing strategies towards engaging them and getting them to essentially bite and really get into it. So then after that, you're going to strategize, you're going to plan, and then you're going to implement. So once you start implementing your strategy, get at least 1 month of your content together. I like to break down the year into quarters. So in the first quarter, I'm doing this. In the second quarter, I'm doing this. In the third, you're doing this, and so on. And that way, you have a plan for each set amount of time. Like, I think a lot of times we get overwhelmed when you essentially have all these goals and all these plans, you haven't written them out, and you're just like, how am I going to do all this? So you don't know where to start. But when you split your year into these different quarters, or even if you want to do it by trimesters, whatever, but when you split the year into these different segments and you say, in this quarter I want to accomplish this, in this quarter I want to accomplish this, in this quarter I want to accomplish this, you're going to be able to do it. And this applies to whether you're an influencer, whether you're a business owner, or whether you just want to get your own life together. So you guys, I need you to hold on for 1 second. I am so sorry, but I think someone from my apartment's here. Hold on. Yes? Hi, I'm so sorry. Yes, it's not working for some reason.
So, sorry, let me turn on my mic. So I will take over while Raro hop off real quick and handle her apartment owner responsibilities. So definitely everything that she is saying is 100% accurate about digital marketing. Knowing how to pitch yourself, believing in the brands that you're pitching to. These are a lot of amazing takeaways. I just came back really quickly, so I'll let you finish up.
No, thank you so much.
Keeping in mind, we will be doing the question and answer portion at the end. So I did see a few questions in here, so there were some really good questions, so I'll be sure to ask you before we hop off. But also, if anybody has any additionals and you're thinking about them, continue to drop them in the chat, and we will definitely get to them. I'm going to give the floor back to Raro.
Thank you. And you guys, thank you so much for staying on while I stepped away. Like I said, I literally just moved here like a couple of days ago, and so I was having a little bit of technical difficulties with my fridge. So they've come here today to help me, so I'm excited. But that is why I had to step away for just a second. So with that being said, I was talking about like essentially making sure that you have a business plan and a digital marketing plan in set up before you even attempt to start posting things for the outside world to get into, because that is how you're able to efficiently and effectively measure whatever results that are coming, and you're able to pivot and re-strategize in whatever plan that you're working on. So then also, with the graphics, whenever you're putting out graphics, I included one graphic that I had personally made. I am not a graphic design artist in any sense, but sometimes you just got to get the job done if you need a quick turnaround time, and so I started working on one of those. And one thing that I always make sure that I tell everyone, you want your graphics to be uncluttered, they should be self-explanatory, and they should be targeted. So for example, I had a Boss Up event, which essentially was us working together in a business office setting and just kind of getting stuff done. In this, I had boss ups. So, okay, obviously if anyone sees that, they're like, oh, I want a boss up. What's this about? And then I let people know this is for entrepreneurs and this is for creatives. So now my target market knows that this event is exactly for them. And then without making it cluttered on the bottom, I said work, create and collab, distraction-free, free Wi-Fi, and printing. And so it allows them to know what they're getting there right away. So even without them having to go to an additional link, an Eventbrite link, it allows them to know, okay, I know exactly what we're going to be doing. Obviously, there probably are more details that you can read into, but at least with these details, I know what I would be signing up for and what value I would be getting from signing up. And then obviously I had with Raro, and then I had Perfect Office because that was the place that I was partnering with. Thank you to Nicole, because Nicole's the one that hooked it up, but that was the place that I was partnering with and was like an influencer for them as well. So I was able to use the space to kind of do these different courses and these different creative and entrepreneurial meetups. And so self-explanatory. So yeah, the flyer is self-explanatory. And this is not only for flyers, this is for your flyers, your emails, any type of graphics that you put out there. Don't make it cluttered. If you need to go to the next page, go to the next page. But see ways that you can make your message concise and still powerful at the same time. You don't have to make it extremely wordy for it to be powerful or for people to utilize it. So that's something that you need to keep in mind. And yeah, so that basically was just me diving a little bit into pitching as well as digital marketing strategies. The weird thing with me being on both sides, I end up rambling and not staying entirely on the points, because I know that the points still need to have points behind them. So I always end up including more stuff about the marketing side on there as well. But yeah, hopefully that was helpful to anyone. I definitely will have all this information. I sent it to Nicole, so if you want to send it out, also you guys can reach me on social media. I'm Raro on everything. That's RAROLAE, except on Twitter because someone took my name, so I'm the Raro on Twitter. My personal email is rarole@gmail.com. My work email kind of gets flooded, so because this is one of Nicole's classes, definitely want to give you guys that more personal access, because this is a big deal for Nicole to be putting this together. I don't know. I don't know if Nicole's joining me back in for questions, but I guess also I am running a special for developing, for developing rate kits for clients, and then also helping you with a more tailored email template to pitch to different brands. So if you guys are interested in taking advantage of any of those specials, feel free to reach out to me at rarolay@gmail.com, or you can reach me on social media, rarolay. Thank you, Donovan, for adding that in, and thank you, Taryn.
Absolutely. So yeah, definitely have a few questions for you that were in the chat, so we can definitely hop on those first. Of course, as mentioned before, all of our speakers, their information, any specials that they're running for people who have attended the summit, I will be sure to send that in an email. I'm trying to figure out, should I just wait until tomorrow's conclusion and send it all at one time? Because like Raro mentioned, I don't want to flood your emails, and I know I'm already flooding your emails, letting you know, links, stuff like that. Sorry. So more than likely, I'll probably wait until tomorrow so that way you all can get all 8 speakers, information, websites, stuff like that. So definitely hang on there. Shout out to Donovan for dropping your socials. Feel free to connect her directly. Okay, question number 1. So Kalia asked, what would you, and she also did ask Kaché, but I'll kind of answer and stand in for her place, say to someone who is from the West Coast where it isn't too friendly to Black women starting their brands. The East Coast and the South seem to be more open to Black brands. So basically, like, what do you suggest? What support or insight could you provide?
Well, I guess I need a little bit more background information. What industry is she in? Do you know by any chance?
Kalia, let us know what industry specific you're in. Also, Raro, I hear a little bit of echo. Could you turn me down?
Okay, yeah.
My bad.
No, how about now?
I think, it sounds good to me now.
Okay.
So for me, I'll go ahead and kind of take a stab at it.
Okay.
If you, and honestly, Kaché did say this earlier in like why she kind of moved to Atlanta, because just like, you know, Kalia is saying, it wasn't, her clientele was not in
lifestyle branding. Okay.
So she moved to Atlanta, but also it wasn't that the clientele wasn't there. It was the price point, right? So if you are trying to get the high end luxury or whatever, that's just an example. And you know, okay, cool, I'm living in, you know, a smaller income area, and they can't afford. I even know painters. I'm selling artwork for $10,000. People can't afford that here. So I need to go somewhere else, or I need to sell somewhere else. The amazing thing about the internet is I could be in Wisconsin and nobody around me, and I'm selling and pushing to Atlanta, California. My content is sunny outside, you know, beaches and stuff like that. I'm pushing to Miami. So really figuring out, okay, cool, my audience is, and again, I'm jumping around with these examples just because someone listening might, you know, be in a different industry, but if, okay, cool, lifestyle, fitness, you know, sun, beach bars, whatever is my audience, but I live in Colorado, I'm going to target my content to those in California and Florida, so on and so forth. I'm going to reach out to influencers in those environments, in those lifestyles. So that's definitely my tip. I mean, I know that it can be hard when in real life there's no one around you supporting you. You feel like your demographics not around you. There's definitely a decision that you need to make about, like, okay, maybe I need to move. But also, if you don't feel the need to move immediately because maybe your business is not generating that type of income, then again, focusing digitally and online. You can create advertisements and geo-traffic them to a specific geographical communication, a geographical audience and age and demographic and stuff like that. So that's my insight, and then I'll let Raro.
Yeah, so I definitely agree with everything you said, and I think it also depends on, I think one point that you kind of mentioned was essentially like online, there's so many different endless opportunities, but then it can get a little bit frustrating if you don't see this happening physically around you. And so one thing I think I saw lifestyle branding, but primarily fashion branding. So with lifestyle branding, I think just a few ways that you could even just market online, and maybe that will translate into having people physically in your area kind of tune in as well, is, for example, if you're doing lifestyle branding and fashion branding, and I'm kind of just going off my head with this right now just because I don't know the specifics of your situation, but you could have different tutorials that you have online, and you could post engaging content that kind of like tailors to that. But then also with like your fashion branding, I don't know if you're like a fashion blogger as well, but you see a lot of those different videos of like people in the different outfits and switching and having fun. I remember one of my friends, she's a stylist, and then she's also a fashion branding expert as well, and she didn't want to, I kept bothering her. I was like, why don't you show us your outfits, like try them on, like, and I know you're not doing this for you, but you're doing it for your clients, but like show us. And I kept bothering her about it, and like she's not even one of my clients, she's literally my friends, but I like obsess over my friends, and I'm like, you could be making money this way. And so
I had a camera issue, sorry.
Oh no, you're and
My
so she
charger
started,
wasn't long enough.
no, listen, I have mine hooked up over here.
Yeah, you guys crazy. But no, I definitely think that's really good insight. And again, community is everything. For me personally, like having, you all as my resources, as my community, but also, like you said, the followers. Your followers will tell you, or your audience, they will tell you what they like, don't like. Hey, we don't see you trying on your clothes enough, but you keep pushing this brand. Or even if you have a clothing company and you're always like promoting it, but you never wear it. Why would I buy the brand when you don't wear it?
People want to see, they don't want to see stock photos, so they don't want to see like your items on like a backdrop. They want to see it on somebody. They want to seem as if they have a personal connection to whatever it is that you're pushing out there. So you are that common denominator, and you will become that personal connection. So you need to like kind of push it that way as well. But for example, if you want to work with different brands, and maybe you want to like go the sponsorship route of getting sponsorships and like working as an influencer as well, and having sponsorships and having influencer deals can be together, but they also can be completely separate things. I didn't dive into that, but like, so you could have sponsorship without being an influencer if you kind of just target your pitch a different way, and either way that's still translating to money for you to push towards your brand. But then that way you have to make content that you would think that that brand will want to see. You have to make content. I guarantee you the clients that want you to like lower your prices to some crazy trivial amount are the ones that will be calling you at 5 a.m. like, hey, did you do this, blah, blah, blah. So it's like you got to work smart. Still work hard, but you got to work smart when you're doing it. So you have to make sure, like, I would rather have 2 clients for $2,000 than have a whole bunch of $100 clients, and now I am spreading myself so thin that I absolutely could not be of service to anybody at a level that would actually translate into any type of results or help for them. So it's like, you don't want to, your goal shouldn't be to get a whole bunch of clients, but then also like get quality clients, clients that will be able to contribute to you monetarily, but also help you keep a peace of mind. Either way, you're going to be stressed at one point or another, but you want to make sure that you're like kind of just gearing your content towards and working towards essentially getting the right clientele, and then also putting out what you want. Like, you put out into the world what you want to get back from it, and that applies to your content as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So a few more questions, and then we are definitely going to wrap this up. I know we said we were going to end at 2:30, but of course, with all the technical issues I had in the beginning, we're just going to extend it another like 15 minutes or so. So next question, which is from Carmen, is do you believe it's too late? Oh, come on, hold on. My chat keeps like going back to the top real quick, which is, I don't know, it's a ghetto. All right, so she said, is it too late to get into nightlife for marketing if you're in your late 20s, or do you prefer a different method? I have a background in digital marketing with Google and Verizon with certifications. Come on, honey. But looking to do more personally.
Okay, so one, the nightlife time, it's not a very good time to be in that industry right now, because, like, even for example, me doing special events, I had planned a tour for an artist all canceled. Different speaking engagements, all canceled. Different, like, a networking mixer. I actually was planning my new business merger. Launch party, canceled. So nightlife is not where you want to be right now, or, like, just anything in, like, hospitality. Like, right now, it's a standstill. But it's absolutely not, in your late, it would depend on what you want to do in, like, if you're specifically saying the nightlife industry. Like, say, for example, you're still just trying to, like, make money and you want to be a waitress, or you want to be, like, the door girl, or, like, something like that. Of course, like, however you need to pay your bills, you pay your bills. But in terms of networking, you would want to make sure that you work at somewhere that you already have researched them to know that whatever you're ultimately trying to connect to is going to be there. Because if you're just working at, like, a random place, it's probably not going to be of much value for you, versus maybe, for example, you're trying to become a digital marketing specialist, like, for celebrities. If you know a lot of celebrities go to that club, then yeah, that could be the right place for you to work, because you can meet them that way. Even though I have met a lot of people in the nightlife, I would prefer, it's interesting, like, it's not the best place to meet people, because sometimes people are drinking, people are, like, they came out there to have fun. So if you're touching bases with them, obviously do not pitch anyone in the club or at any, like, even at a networking event, like, for business professionals, you wouldn't be pitching anyone, but you would just exchange information so you guys could follow up with each other later on. I don't think it's ever late to do anything, but you just have to make sure you're like, you're clear on what you're trying to get out of it.
And I definitely agree with that. And I think that, like, the nightlife question did come up because you worked in nightlife.
Yeah.
Kaché says she worked in nightlife.
Right.
Honestly, I've worked in nightlife as well. So I definitely, number one, we don't want you ladies thinking, or even gents, that, like, okay, get into nightlife because that's the way to go.
Yeah.
No. So that's like saying, you know, date a baller, get rich. No.
No, yeah.
However, in this industry, and even I can speak to, like, my experiences when I was in college, I would go down to Atlanta once or twice a month because it was so, first of all, it's cheap. So a broke college student, $75 round trip ticket, I'm gone.
I'm done.
No, seriously, but the nightlife was really fast, open, rapid. And now as a college student, I didn't have a brand or a business, but the people that I met, like, it was crazy, and I still do have relationships with them now. So now that I am somebody who has a business and is an entrepreneur and I'm expanding, I can reach out to them and connect. So absolutely what Raro is saying makes sense. But you also don't need to become a bottle girl to get that and then just be handing out your cards. But also, when you are kind of, you're in the service industry by being a bottle girl, but you also have a service-based business such as being a hairstylist or maybe a lastician, or you're selling clothes or something like that. Everybody there, not everybody, but a lot of the people there are your demographic. They wear clothes. They want to look good. You know, they're into their beauty and their look.
That's absolutely true.
You really can't miss. Whereas people like us, who we're looking for, maybe the CEOs, the owners of the club, stuff like that. Us being there partying may not always be the best. So knowing, like, so for us, we more so would want to be invited to the invite-only events at the club versus just being there for general admission and handing out bottles and, like, how, like, it's fun. So, but again, as we said before, your journey is your journey. So.
No, that's absolutely true, and I definitely agree with that.
Yeah. And so another question that we have is from Dominica. She said, I'm a digital artist and graphic designer. I'm looking to grow my business Instagram page. What tips do you have to grow your audience and to reach to bring more to grow your audience and reach and to bring in more art commission and graphic design contracts?
So I always tell people that you're literally like a walking billboard for your company. So the best place is honestly to start with, like, you, of course, and keep showing your content. Like, for example, like, you can put a proof on it if you're afraid of someone stealing something or whatever, but client testimonials are always amazing, and in addition to that, us seeing your work. Like, for example, I'm always looking to work with graphic designers. I'm always looking to like work with like a videographer or a photographer or something. But if I go to your page, whether it be your social media channel or your online portfolio, and there is nothing there, there's absolutely no way I can trust that. Hold on one second. I'm so sorry.
No, biggie. I'll definitely hop in there in the meantime. And
You jump in and then out.
Yeah.
Okay.
So definitely I 100% agree with Raro. If I am scouring the internet or I'm scouting for something, and I do this all the time, again, a background on me, which I gave in the beginning, I do all things digital, media, and fitness. Those are my three major pillars. And what that means is digital marketing. That is my background. I own a digital marketing company, and we handle email marketing, social media management, event curating. You know, we put together my digital marketing company put together this summit today. So, you know, we're doing different events like that. I needed graphics for that. I needed, you know, Instagram posts for that. If this was an in-person video, I would have needed a photographer, a videographer, so on and so forth. And then also I do a lot with radio hosting, and I'm a freelance radio personality. I do artist interviews. Before South by Southwest was canceled, I was planning to go down there. I was going to work with some videographers. I was planning to be with artists. I would have needed a graphic to promote, hey, I'm here, X, Y, and Z. So, yes, that's background on me, but also being said, when I am looking for people, whether it's for radio events and I need a graphic, or, you know, I have a client and I need a website or I need something like that, I'll take suggestions. I'll go through so many different avenues so I can get all of these suggestions and people. And then if I'm going to your Instagram, which some people use as their portfolio, and I see selfies and hanging with grandma and one video from 2016, I can't do anything with that. Again, if you use your Instagram for you and then you have a website portfolio, great. But if I cannot access a portfolio and I cannot see your work, I'm on to the next one, because there's 20 other people who I can see their work and I can know that they are quality, and so I'm going to move on. So as far as how to grow the audience and how to get more commission, first of all, do not limit where you're looking for work. That's number one. I got somebody who DM'd me and was like, hey, tax season is almost over. Have you done your taxes yet? How can I help? I haven't done my taxes yet, which granted we got an extension, but I hadn't done my taxes yet. And if I was actively looking, boom, they just DM me. A DM can go a long way. Sending out email blasts, texting people who are in the industry. You know, if you see graphic designs on someone's page all the time, you know, for events and stuff like that, hey, who makes your graphics? How about I do your next graphic 50% off? Or, you know, Kaché mentioned that also. She was going around saying, hey, let me do your hair for free because I know I can do this service. And then now she has people walking around bragging about her service, and they are, you know, promoting her company, and she didn't have to pay them, but at the same point in time, she did use her time. So there are so many avenues. Do not limit yourself. Craigslist is very real and alive, and people are still getting checks off of Craigslist as well.
Yeah, and just basically you summed that up amazing. And essentially it's like, if I can't see your work, like, why would I be going to you when, like you said, there's 20 other people that have it there, have it online already as well. I think what else was in the question? What tips do you have to grow your audience and reach to bring in more art commissions? Engagement is super, super important. I'm a huge engagement person, and it doesn't mean just responding to your comments and going down your timeline. Use hashtags. Take the time to think, to work on like a 30 amount of hashtags, like basically 30 hashtags. I don't know why that was coming out weird, but essentially working on your different hashtag sets and doing that. And when you do that, go onto those hashtags and engage with those different people. Also take the time also to research other people that are currently at the level you are, and then people that are at the level you want to be at as well. And look and see what techniques they're using. Don't steal them. Everything should be unique to yourself, but we all have to learn from somewhere. So see what other techniques that other people are using and other successful experts in your industry are using and see how you can kind of make those your own to work as well. I think I saw one post by a marketing specialist, and it was like, I didn't like how she said stealing followers, but it was essentially, it was saying following bigger people or like the experts in your field and thoughtfully engaging with those people, because it's kind of like the same logic of like, I'm commenting on the shade room or I'm commenting on like baller alert or something like that. People that maybe didn't see you popping up on their timeline because you're a mutual follower, they're going to see your comments. And if you have thoughtful comments, other people may engage with your comments as well, and then that'll start bringing people to your page as well, because they're like, oh, well, that was a deep comment, or this woman must clearly be a digital artist and graphic designer expert. Let me see what she has on her page as well. So engaging in all those different realms. You also, when we are able to eventually get out there physically, you want to start attending these different events that are for your niche specific of people, and there's tons of them out there, like digital artist conferences, meet and greets, mix and mingles, and you want to do that. Right now, you could focus on reaching out to other digital artist experts and graphic designer experts and saying, let's collab, let's get on live and do a how to make a blah, blah, blah flyer using Adobe Photoshop, or like using how to make this graphic using InDesign and different things like that. Like that, maybe do a 30-minute class, and that'll get people to engage with you as well. Because now that you're teaching classes as well, you also have established yourself as an expert in your field, because you are now giving people valuable information where they can go and use this for them to do. And most of the time, people know that they're not graphic designers. So yes, I appreciate learning. The people that do want to learn it, they'll learn it, but they're most likely just going to call you anyways, because they're like, listen, let the expert handle it. But you have to put yourself out there for people to know, like, this is what you're doing. Stop worrying about if you're, and I'm not saying you are, but I know I personally was worrying about whether my friends and family were supporting me at first, and I'd be like, well, why did they repost it, but this person in like California or this person in London is reposting me? And the person in California and London are your market. So don't feel limited by where you are right now. Don't feel limited by maybe not getting as much support as you should be. Keep working on putting your content out there so the right people can see what you are fully capable of, and they can know that those services that you offer are actually out there, because maybe they just don't know.
No, absolutely. I completely agree. We are about to, my phone is dying again. Wait, can you guys see me? Oh, here I go.
Yes,
okay, so we are about to hop off here soon. I know Cookie said I'm going to need some of that one-on-one coaching. I will definitely drop my website. I am also going to be doing some digital deals in sales as well. I know a lot of the speakers, between myself, Raro, Michelle, a lot of us do business entrepreneurship coaching. A lot of us work with people one-on-one. Again, maybe you're trying to scale your business. Maybe you're trying to learn about influencer pitching, stuff like that. Let me tell you something. Raro is amazing with pitching your brand and influencer and stuff like that. Like, she helps me all the time, and I'm like, girl, how you do this? What do I need to do? And again, having people in the industry who may do similar things, similar brands, even some of the young ladies who are coming on tomorrow, a lot of us do similarities, but we are also different because we are different people. So again, whoever you may want to get coaching from, whoever has, another class coming up that you want to be a part of, reminder, tomorrow is day 2. So we will have completely different speakers tomorrow. Again, it's going to be 4 amazing speakers, and then we are going to be doing a panel discussion at the end with myself, Raro, and Raven Perry, talking about adjusting during COVID-19, and again, adjusting your lifestyle, adjusting your brand, adjusting your pitches, because don't pitch to a brand saying, oh yeah, I can do X, Y, and Z. Your numbers might be different during this time, higher, lower, all of that good stuff. Raro, is there anything else you want to say to the people before I give my closing statements and you hop off?
No, just thank you once again. I think we're still on here. Oh, you probably just got the alert, didn't you? Is that why
sorry. There's a state of emergency.
I just saw it. It just came through my phone as well. But Yeah, no, basically, thank you so much for having me on here and just giving me the opportunity to just kind of share some of my knowledge from like the industry that I'm working in. This was amazing. I tuned into all the other speakers earlier today and they were all great. I was taking notes and everything. So I learned so much, and I always love. Yeah, no, I love being a part of something where you not only are able to pour out information, but then also the questions kind of like spark in your mind, like, oh, let me think of it from this perspective, but then also I can learn from the other speakers as well. So that was great. Everyone, I think I mentioned my social media before, but feel free to follow me on social media. It's Raro Lay on everything. That's RAROLAE. And my email is rarolay@gmail.com if you guys need to reach out to me for anything or DM me for anything. Super excited for the panel tomorrow and definitely talking about navigating around coronavirus, especially in ordeals to do with like pitching and everything, because like people think it's a standstill time. It is not, and there's different ways you can kind of pivot in your pitch. So I'm excited to share tips about that tomorrow.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, guys. We'll talk to you tomorrow. I am just gonna pass on things. So, everybody who is tuned into the summit, don't get off. Bro, is just gonna scoot off real quick for me. And then I'll say all my final farewells and goodbyes, and we'll talk about tomorrow. Thank you, Raro.
Alrighty, thank you. Bye.
All right, everybody. So we are going to finish up. And just a few things before you go. Just don't leave me yet. Okay, awesome. So yes, thank you so much to all of the amazing speakers, the amazing panelists that we had today. If you all enjoyed it, let me know. Drop a comment. Tell your friends. Yeah, that's really a lot of the information there. So let's get into tomorrow, and I will let you all go. Again, I know we're all probably, well, I'm hungry. I need to get me some lunch. So as far as everything, this was brought to you by my digital marketing company, Social Media Solutions, as well as the Public Relations Factory. Shout out to Donovan, who really helped me put this together for day 1 and day 2. Just a little tidbit about the Public Relations Factory. They are a PR and marketing firm. Their mission is to build strong infrastructures for clients to gain visibility in front of their audience and beyond. They will be offering a free one-on-one 30-minute discovery call to build a pre-R strategy during this time of crisis. So if you are interested, email info@publicrelationsfactory.com with the subject line Women Collab Summit. I will drop this in the chat now. And again, I will be sure to include these emails and these informations and these giveaways and things like that that our speakers, presenters, sponsors are going to be providing. I'll be sure to send them in an email tomorrow so that way you can have all 8 speakers and all of the information there. Also, just to wrap up, tomorrow for our 2-day summit, I will be starting off. I will be kicking off with branding your business for free. Again, during this time, I know we're all making a lot of transitions. Maybe you're starting a new brand, a new business, but also things are hectic. You might not be working. You might not have the budget, or you don't need to be making these huge investments in spending while things are so crazy. So let's talk about what apps and what platforms you can use for free, what things you can do on your own, what classes you can take and courses you can take to teach yourself for free at home. So that's what we're going to start off with tomorrow for day 2. Then we will have Regan. She will be talking about crafting a brand narrative in a digital space. Then we'll have Black Hayes talking about going viral, content creation, and social philanthropy. And finally, we will have Raven Paris, who will be speaking about women in media, creating a seat at the table for women in the industry. And finally, myself, Raro Lay, and Raven Paris will be doing a panel about adjusting during COVID-19. Do we have any final questions or anything like that before we hop off this live? I will give you all a couple seconds. Did you all enjoy today? Was today enjoyable? Are you going to tell a friend? Let's see if I have any messages. All right. Not seeing anything. All right. Well, thank you all so much. Oh, okay, here they go. They're coming through. I'm so glad you all enjoyed the summit. Awesome, awesome. Thank you so much, Kalia. I'm glad you enjoyed. And again, if you all need to continue a dialogue with myself or with any of the speakers from today, feel free to reach out to them. Feel free to DM them. Shoot your shot. You know, ask how you can get that one-on-one coaching. I will be providing one-on-one coaching. My one-on-one coaching normally starts at $175, but I will be doing a sale for everyone who is attending the summit and everything like that. So you definitely do not want to miss out on that. If you want to go ahead and sign up for the special that I'll be running on the summit, for the one-on-one coaching, just shoot me a DM and say, look, I'm ready. What's up? How much is that investment? And I will send you those deals. And again, I'm cutting the price. We're going to do a quarantine special, and that's going to be some other deals that I'll be running as well. On top of the coaching, you know, I will be sending you guys a free business plan model that you can use so you can start your business plans and stuff like that, as well as some of the other coaches will be sending over some of the amazing stuff that they have as well. Thank you all so much. I'm really looking forward to tomorrow. Make sure if you register for today, you register for day 2 as well, because the registration lists are separate. Tell your friends the same. We will also live stream on YouTube again. And also, last but certainly not least, if you can download the app, that seems to be the best way to make sure that you can tune in and that everything is streaming clearly, because I know that there was some lagging if you were streaming on the web. So thank you all so much. Please be safe during these crazy times, and we'll talk soon. I'm looking forward to seeing you tomorrow. Bye. All right, let me figure out how to get out of here.